Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ash. It smells so fragrant in this studio. I think someone's been passing air through poo. It's Talk Radio. It's 10 o'clock.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm doing my best, watching Disney films. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. I like Lindsay Lohan. I like Lindsay Lohan. She does a lot of acting in films today. She's a day girl. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. Disney films today. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. She's a nice girl. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. She's a nice girl. She does some singing, 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 she does some singing. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. Knocking one out to Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. I'm doing my best, watching Disney films. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. Knocking one out to Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. I'm doing my best, watching Disney films. Knocking one out to Lindsay Lohan. Doing my best, watching Disney films.
Is this the, Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, I had my headphone down low. That's all that was. I thought, why is it quiet? It's because I had my head.
Can you play again?
What?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What? No, it doesn't go again, does it? Yeah, it does. Oh, flipping heck.
There's been some misunderstandings about the lyric there, hasn't there?
I'm undoing my belt
Yeah.
watching Disney films. Not doing my bell. I don't even know what that means. We have so far, and please don't tell Nigel this, we've made 25 grand from that.
Sweet.
That's just in the UK. I've not got the figures from abroad, but I'm hearing it's doing very well in the Southern American countries.
I heard that you've been invited to go on Soul Train.
You have heard that, and that is correct.
You're going to get an actor to play Nigel.
Don't tell Nigel. Yes, we're going to get the same guy that plays Davros to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell Nigel. I'm going to tell him that we've made 20 quid each, and that's it. And he doesn't need to know. I don't think numbers are his forte. Numbers are my forte. Numbers are my forte. Oh, you see? So let's not tell him that significant funds have been activated. He won't be listening to the show. He doesn't need to know this.
And, you know, who's
Someone
the one with
needs-
the record label? You know this stuff.
I know this stuff. It's on a strictly need-to-know basis, and he doesn't need-to-know basis. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. Let's. I tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to celebrate the backstage boys and girls of whatever industry it is you work in.
Like me.
No,
The woman.
No. You're even lower down the food chain.
Wow.
But wherever you work, dear listener, even if you sign on and you don't work because you're a stoner and you're lazy, whatever the reason for you not bothering to get a job, congratulations on playing the system so well. Congratulations on getting every penny you can out of the government.
Players.
Well, by the way, 12 years since I've had a drink or a drug today. My 12th birthday. Who'd have thought that? Who'd have thought that? And when I was signing on, it all went on weed. It really did. I think now, and as it's my 12th birthday, I'm allowed to do all kinds of.
No,
don't
think that's how it works.
You're allowed a big yard of ale.
Nope.
And a yard of cocaine.
You're allowed what I gave you, which is a large bar of chocolate.
So,
and a well done from me.
But if you are too lazy to work, congratulations. You found some people. I don't think are cut out for work. Hence the benefit system. That's the way it should be. Congratulations. But even when you sign on, there are backroom staff, boys and girls, that don't get the credit that the front room staff get. The people when you walk in and they go, "What do you want?" Like that. I remember when I used to sign on. We can do signing on stories. I used to sign on in Harlesden. Now, if anyone has ever been to Harlesden, you'll know it's an absolute dump.
Where is it?
Northwest London, near Willesden, Harlesden,
Alderden's.
Kensal Green was where I lived. And honest to God, right, signing on in there was an Irish woman. If you had the Irish woman, oh, man alive. "Have you been looking for jobs this week, have you?" She didn't talk like that at all.
That was an impression of someone doing her job.
Yeah. And you'd make stuff up. But there were gentlemen, and it was gentlemen, in the signing on office doing drug deals on the telephone.
What?
Selling, yeah, you know.
Are you doing the voice?
Oh. They were doing drug deals, and it was, I literally heard one gentleman say one day, "I'll be down to drop the weed off. I'm just signing on."
Not even hiding it.
Oh, man alive! That's what I like to call a player.
See, if they legalised it, he would be a hard-working member of society.
Free the weed!
But we don't condone it.
Well...
No.
Well, I say, I couldn't really care less about the weed or any of those things. Anyway, so tonight we are celebrating backroom boys and backroom girls. And that's why, as soon as I click my fingers, Ed will come on the air. He won't, because he's not paying attention. Go! Ed, tonight we're celebrating you.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask him if he knew anyone.
No, he is the hardest working man. We think he's a man. The tests haven't come back from the laboratory yet. The hardest working person, him and Rudd, are the hardest working, and Rudd would be getting this moment of glory if he were here, even though he doesn't work on this show, Ed, so don't take it personally.
That's all right.
But stand up and a round of applause, please, for Ed.
Oh, thank you. I feel...
Yeah.
So, do I get to make a speech?
No. No. Your backroom staff is actually interested in what you've got to say.
Okay.
But where were you the other day? Because we had, it was like an LBC reunion. I had my old tech ops sitting in for
I know,
you.
it was perfectly arrayed. No, I skipped the country.
Wow.
They realised that my passport was fake, so had to skip the country, then sneak back in.
Hang on a second. I keep meaning to use more of these hotkeys, and I'm a little bit rusty. So just say you skipped the... No, hang on. Don't say it yet.
Wait a minute.
Oh, don't say anything yet. Don't say anything yet. Oh, flippin' heck.
George, you're a fanny.
No! Where has it gone? Oh, hang on a minute. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. Could be under plums 4.
Okay, I'll say, my name is Yasser and I am a massive racist.
Yeah, okay, that's not it. Is it here? No. Can I play a clip from one of those radio shows where I play clips from them?
The C word one?
No, not the C word one. Can I play this out? It's innuendo.
Innuendo.
I can play this. So this is a text that...
Can I just say to you?
Yeah.
Do what you think is right.
You're like this. I don't know if you'll get the innuendo, Ed, because it's traditionally...
Do what you think is okay.
This one's okay.
Right.
This one's okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So this is a genuine text. I've got a whole collection of these, and this is the show that I took around the country, and I've got hundreds of these. This is a genuine text to, I think, a BBC local radio station. Here we go.
OK, let's get to our first dedication.
So it's a dedication.
Oh,
right?
I know these.
This one's okay. Right, this isn't the beef curtains,
No.
which I wouldn't play.
This is the meat and two veg one.
All right.
OK, let's get to our first dedication.
Now let's get to our first dedication. So it's a dedication.
I love his accent as well. Where's he from?
I don't know.
Australia?
Don't know. But it's a text that's been sent in, and there's a name. The name, straight away you go, fake name. But I mean...
OK, let's get to our first dedication. Dear Chris, please say a big hello to Connie Lingus.
Now!
Connie Lingus.
I mean, that is just the basic.
Maybe he's never heard of it.
We need to talk to Mike Love from the Beach Boys. That's a basic. You get a Connie Lingus texting in, you go,
Joker.
Not even going to bother. Now, this guy is either the coolest dude on BBC local radio, or he's an idiot. He's one of the two, right? And he either gets the gag and thinks, I'm steaming on with this. To hell with them. To hell with the drones. Or he's like, I'm good, it's content.
Sounds valid.
OK, let's get to our first dedication. Dear Chris, please say a big hello to Connie Lingus, who's 69 on Tuesday. She'll be enjoying my meat and two veg on...
Now, 69... meat and two veg.
Sounds legit to me.
It goes on Sunday at 12, which are all the very best, and tell her I look forward to seeing her when she comes.
Now, I mean, come on!
I mean, that is standard as well,
I
isn't it?
do miss... I tell you what, we can talk... As well as talking about the backroom staff, and I'll try and find that... I wanted to play... I really need... This is tomorrow's project, is tidying up my computer, because that's what I need to do. But I do miss, and I know George has a little run-in recently, I do miss the prank call. And I know George had one, and he took it very graciously, George Galloway, took it very graciously after the show. And we talked about prank calls, and I said, that was fun. And he went, yeah, and we talked about how we kind of missed the prank call. And then he found out it was an inside job, and that soured things. And I can understand, I still think it was funny. I didn't hear it, actually. But I still think a prank call is funny. I can understand why it might be sour if it's from one of your own, from within the ranks. But I do miss... And there's no point in doing a prank call to this show because, well, anyone gets on. There's no challenge to it. The challenge is getting onto a straight show... and
saying Connie Lingus.
Yeah, exactly. Even that, though, is a little bit... But I do miss the prank call. Of course, the greatest prank call... Have you ever heard the Peter Cook calls to Clive Bull? Oh, they're things of great beauty. They'll be on YouTube. The show's going to be all over the shop tonight, guys. I hope you don't mind. But Peter Cook, when he was, sadly, a boozer, and very lonely, I think, he used to phone up Clive Bull on LBC, like through the night. I think he was on like 1 till 5. I've listened to this. Is just great.
Well, I think she should have some Manx cats. Them's the ones without the tail.
Yes, that's a good idea.
So that's Clive Bull, the host, right? And Sven from Swiss Cottage is Peter Cook.
Thank you, Lorne.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sven in Swiss Cottage.
Oh, hello, Mr. Bull.
Hello, Sven.
Yes, I'm only a visitor here from Norway, and I listen to the program and think one wonderful thing, because in Norway the phone-in is mainly devoted to subjects of, that like fish.
Like fish?
Yes.
Now, at this point, Clive doesn't know it's just another caller.
How would you know?
Doesn't know who it is, right? And this is on at like 2:30 in the morning, when the world is a stranger place, a darker place, and you could be listening at home in bed, and this guy phones up, and he sounds, as you say, a spot-on accent.
We have a phone-in at 11 o'clock, that's Norway time.
Yes.
When people ring up for 1 hour, and the gist of it is things about, is a carp very big, or is a tench very big, or, and how big is a guppy.
That sounds very interesting.
It goes it's so nice to come to this country and hear people talking about, Parliament and taking clothes off and singing. In Norway, all we get is this fish stuff going on and on.
Yes, I imagine it would begin to drag after a while.
Have you ever done a swap with Norway?
A swap with... Well, I'm not sure whether I want to inflict the fish upon my listeners.
Well, no, we have other things. It's only 11 to 12, the fish.
You have the fish hour. The fish phone-in.
A fish hour.
Fish hour. We have been toying with the idea.
Out of fish.
I mean, fishing is very popular over here as well.
But not... Well, it's nice to go out and cast your flies on the water, but surely not listen to it every night, 11 to 12.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there has been a rumour about the place that LBC is going to start up a new fish wash service.
What, washing the fish?
No, watch.
On the air?
Fish watch.
Fish watch?
Yes.
Well...
It's going to be a bit like the top 20 share check.
In Norway at the moment...
It's going to be sort of regular fish updates through the day.
Or the carp is numero uno over there.
Then it goes on, and there are 7 of those. And I think by the last couple, I think he'd worked out who it was. But what a joy.
Who's humouring who?
What a joy. I mean, Clive Boyle is just the greatest presenter on the radio live at the moment. I have no shadow of a doubt. But just what a joy that is. You know, just nice. The thing is, it's nice and slow. It's nice and relaxed. The gags are very gentle.
Very sophisticated, because when I did a gardening phone-in, my mate Willie rang up to say that his name was Ollie and he had problems with his spuds.
Yes. I always
It's a very quick joke.
When I used to work at WM, there was a gardening show on before me, and it was Molly Green, who I think is wonderful. We'll go to the break of it, I know Willie. And I would... some of them weren't from me, but she would... Oh, no, that was it. She had a gardening expert on, and I'd either text in or at the end say, can I speak to your gardening expert? I'm having terrible trouble with my plums. Or talk about trimming my bush.
Yeah.
You know, the obvious stuff.
Yeah, I have had
And
all
the
those.
gardening expert used to get... Molly thought it was hilarious. The gardening expert used to get quite annoyed.
We had really good figures for that gardening show, because it had been a load of old gardeners in the past who kind of ran it. And I remember one of them telling me to wind it up once, and I was thinking, whose show is this?
Yeah.
I got rid of him.
Yeah, you're the woman.
I know, I got rid of him. And in the end, I had me and some mates on who happened to be gardeners, and we just used to have like 3 hours of filth.
Yeah.
People loved it.
Yeah, of course they do. Well, it's the Great British Bake Off. It's not a cooking show, it's a spunky show, isn't it? Oh, I tell you what, we're late for a break. Alan and Lee, stay there. It's a phone-in show unlike any other, in that we spend the first 20 minutes referencing a show from 35 years ago on another radio station. We're celebrating backroom staff. We are celebrating signing on. We're celebrating... we can have like a kind of quite geeky radio show tonight. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind if we do that. You can call in about anything you want, by the way. 0844 499 1000. It's Talk Radio. We call you back. Here's some ads.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. I think this is what I was looking for. Hang on a second. No, now you won't play. Oh, I need built-in output. Yes. No, why won't that play? Oh, well. Lee!
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, Lee, what you got for us?
You were talking about people being unemployed.
Yes.
I've been on the dole since I was 23.
Yeah, absolutely. How old are you, Lee?
37.
Oh, you're playing the system. That's 15 years. Well done, sir. 15 years. It was about 38 quid a week?
No, I get £1,000 a month plus my rent paid.
What the heck? Sweet Caroline! What the heck, Lee? How do you get £1,000 a week plus your rent on top of that? That's awesome, man!
£1,000 a month. Plus my rent paid, plus my council tax paid.
That's beautiful!
Yeah, sweet deal.
Is this because you're schizophrenic?
Yes.
Oh, man! I love it! See, there has to be a bonus. Our tongues are in our cheeks, guys, before you start getting arsey. What do you do with all that dough?
I buy booze.
Oh.
And I give my younger brother money as well.
Oh, okay, no, that's nice, that's fine.
He works, he's a worker.
Well, you see, that. Hang on, let me just press this button. I'm trying to get this... No, why won't that work? Isn't that the weirdest thing? I'm trying to get my computer to say sex crime, and it just won't do it.
Well, thank God for that.
Sex crime hotkey, save, Save. Hang on a second. We could be onto something here. Hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, no, the computer don't work. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Lee, so you're signing on. Would you like to...
I don't sign on. I'm on incomes. I'm on ESA.
Oh, okay. Would you, like a job?
I would love a job. I used to be an IT salesman.
Oh, yeah, how did that go?
I did that for 7 years. I once worked at IBM, actually.
Hey, flip it. Do you remember when buying a computer, you had to say, is it IBM compatible? Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
I'm that old that you would constantly go, yes, it looks very good. Is it IBM compatible? And if it wasn't, you didn't buy it.
I don't think I've ever said those words.
Well, it's...
I'm a lot younger than you.
That's true. She is a lot... I'm going to say it, Lee. She's a lot younger than me.
She looks nice. I've seen her on the old Periscope.
That's what I've got her on for. Bit of eye candy.
The woman.
The woman. I'm thinking of forcing her to legally change her name to The Woman.
I've just changed my Twitter bio, actually, because that's what, that's only fair, isn't it?
It is only fair. It really is only fair. Hang on a second. Oh, my computer. Hang on, here we go. No, let me try this. Now, why is none of this... There we go. Yes?
Don't worry, I think it happens to quite a lot.
Hang on. Hang on. Is my computer plugged in, Ed?
Yes.
Why is nothing...
What are you trying to do, Ian Lee?
Hang on. I'm trying to go...
Hip, hip, hip.
There we go.
Was it your fault, Ed?
Yes, it was. Look at his face.
It absolutely was.
I did nothing. I've just been sitting here.
Yeah,
everything's
how come
up.
When I asked, is it your fault? Suddenly it started working.
Yeah, but I did nothing.
You know what this is?
Yeah.
Because you gave him a round of applause. It's all gone to his head,
It's-
and he's gone to cock in there.
He's gone to what?
Gone to cock in there.
I thought you said the round of applause had gone to his cock in there.
That's what I
Well, would explain his distraction.
Is that what you heard, Lee?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Although, to be honest, you're probably not the best judge of what, is going on. I'm joking, guys. How's today been for you, Lee? All right?
How cruel of you.
I know, isn't it? It's wicked, isn't it? They
He's
could.
horrible.
I'm a very bad man. How's the weekend been for you, Lee? All right?
Yeah, not bad. I've got my brother on my back asking me for money.
Oh, hang on a minute. Why? You said you give some of your money to him. Why? Why?
Because I love him. He's my younger brother.
Yeah, but why do you give him money?
Because I love him.
Yeah, but
he bounces off me. He's like, "Oh, bro, give me money, dude. I need money." He works. He's a hard worker. He's a grafter. He's a bricklayer.
Right. Well, how much money do you give him?
Well, I gave him £100 in the last week.
And is that like a weekly occurrence?
No, a monthly occurrence.
So £100 a month?
Roughly.
Well, I don't know your situation, Lee, so it's not for me to judge. I've made up a story in my head, but I don't know the facts, so nothing to do with me.
Well,
as long as you don't feel, as long as you're not getting
buttons, you know what I mean?
Well, okay. Well, then I have to delve further. Do you not? Is there not a chance that maybe he should be giving you money? What with him working and stuff?
Well, he's a hard worker, and he earns the same amount that I get paid for nothing.
Right. So has he guilt tripped you into giving him some of that money because you don't work?
Yes.
Right. Well, that sounds a little bit like exploitation.
Well, he's my younger brother at the end of the day. I love him, so...
Yeah, but even the people that we love can... And I'm not saying that this is what your brother is doing, but the people that we love can rip us off sometimes, can't they?
He does rip me off. He works me off £100 a month.
Why do you give it to him?
Because I love him.
Why don't you just tell him to jog on?
I try that, but he begs me. He's like, "Go on, bro, please, bro,
What
please."
does he spend it on?
His woman.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, Lee.
It's no big deal. I get £1,000 a month plus my rent paid. At the end of the day, I've got money to earn. In a way, but I'm an alcoholic, so I spend a lot of it on alcohol.
Right, okay. Gosh, there's a lot being revealed in this conversation. How's the alcoholism going?
Well, I'm drinking a beer right now.
And how many beers have you had today?
I've had a bottle of whiskey and about 4 beers.
A whole bottle of whiskey?
Yeah.
And how's that going for you?
It's going quite well, thank you very much.
Do you reckon?
Not really, no.
No, it's not, is it?
No, not really.
Why do you drink so much, do you think?
Because I'm desperate to get away from the voices.
And when you're drinking, do you still hear the voices?
Yeah, but they get a bit cheerier.
The voices get cheerier?
Yeah.
How about when you're in your cups at the end of the night? Are they cheerier then, or are they telling you to do all kinds of stuff?
The thing is, they don't tell me to do things.
Right.
They just shout at me.
But they if I remember correctly, they play on your esteem and they tell you that you're worthless and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And does that get better or worse when you're pissed?
Better.
Really?
Yeah.
When you're absolutely steaming after a bottle of whiskey,
I don't get drunk. I don't get drunk.
Okay. When you've had a bottle of whiskey and 4 beers, the voices sound better, do they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And how is the booze combining with your medication?
Well, I get an injection in my bum every 3 weeks.
Right.
So that's my medication. Because they used to give me tablets, but I couldn't take them on time. I wouldn't take them.
Yeah.
So they started giving me an injection in the bum every 3 weeks.
I haven't had an injection in my arse for years. I used to get them all the time when you were young, didn't you?
Yeah, kids.
Always bum injections. I haven't had a bum injection.
They love it, don't they?
I haven't had a bum injection for about 15 years when I had a shot of morphine in my backside. And it was just a nurse was just about to put the needle in, and they said, "You're off that TV show. You had a picture of me up on your screen once and called me a scrounger." Wee. Well, I can't. Hey, Lee, I'm no doctor, but I can't believe that you drinking all that alcohol can be good for your schizophrenia. It certainly ain't good for your liver.
No, it's terrible for my liver, but my liver's not swollen.
Well,
I've had it tested.
Yeah, but if you're drinking a bottle of whiskey a day,
yeah,
it will get swollen and you will die.
Yeah, probably.
Well, no, you will. I've seen it happen to people.
Right. But you used to be a drug hound, didn't you?
I used to be a what?
A drug hound.
A drug hound? Well, there's a turn of phrase. I don't kind of go into too much detail about what I got up to, but I haven't had a drink or a drug for 12 years now.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah. So there is an alternative.
What's the alternative?
Well, to not drink and not do drugs.
Then what do you do with your life?
Well, there's a question. Screw it up primarily, but you get to do a lot more with your life.
Well, I've got nothing.
Well, because of what you just told me.
I don't understand.
Yeah, if you've got nothing because you're getting pissed every day.
Well, I drink every day. I don't get pissed.
You say that.
I don't, honestly. I don't get drunk anymore.
Okay, well, okay. Well, you have got nothing. Possibly one of the reasons why you have nothing is because you're poisoning yourself to death every day.
Yeah, probably.
Well, not probably, but possibly. I know that since I stopped, drinking and stuff, I've got kids, I've got my career back, I've got a few quid in the bank.
And congratulations to you. I'm happy for you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Well, I want, I want to be a big fan of yours as well. I am a big fan of yours.
Oh, thanks very much.
But I just know that... do you speak to your doctors about your boozing?
Yeah, they tell me to cut down. They tell me to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, dude, that's all I've got to do all day.
Well, why can't you do something else all day?
I live in the middle of nowhere.
So?
I haven't got a car.
So?
So all I have to do all day is drink.
Well, it may seem like all you have to do all day is drink, but you can read, you can watch films, you can go for long walks, you could go and volunteer in a charity shop, you could go to AA meetings, you can phone up the Samaritans. There's all these different options for ways for you to fill your time and fill your hands.
Well, I have got Sky Movies.
Well, there you go, Sky Movies, fantastic. Don't watch Goodfellas.
I love Goodfellas.
No, but don't watch that. That's not going to help anything.
Yeah.
It's quite boozy and druggy, that film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit, yeah.
Lee?
Yeah?
Nice to talk to you, man.
Okay, dude.
Hang in there, fella.
You too.
Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's 10:30. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. And as you've heard, you can call in about pretty much anything you want. Let's go to another Lee. Good evening, Lee.
That was getting very confusing, Ian.
Yeah, well, these things do. But it turns out life is confusing.
No, the bit that was confusing is because when you're waiting to come on air, as I was, you're listening out for your own name.
Oh.
You know, and of course you're talking to another Lee, and I'm like, no, it's not me. Oh, no, it's not me.
Well, we're not talking to you now. I'm talking to another Lee.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah, isn't
I've got voices in my head now.
We'll talk to this Lee. How are you doing, Lee? You all right?
I'm good. I think I need a nickname now. There's too many Lees phoning up.
Can we call you Other Lee?
Other Lee.
Well, I'm not other, am I?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. When was the last time you had an injection in your backside? I used to love that feeling, that numb. You get it would hurt, and you'd have a numb bum for the rest of the day.
I used to go out with a
I
diabetic.
don't remember ever having one. I must have, but I can't remember.
I used to go out with a diabetic and he used to do his bum quite a lot.
They're not supposed to do it in the bum. He was having you on.
That sounds wrong.
What you got for us, Lee?
You didn't happen to watch at the weekend when Magic Goes Horribly Wrong on Channel 5, did you?
Gosh, no, I didn't, but that sounds like the kind of show I should have been doing the voiceover for. Well, I must have had my phone switched off that day. No, that sounds brilliant. When did it go horribly wrong? Did it have Siegfried and Roy getting attacked by their tigers?
It did, and it had a bloke putting his hand through a dagger, you know, the old paper cup and dagger trick.
Oh, that's a great one. You know, where they slam it down, because they know which cup the dagger's in, and he slams it on a dagger.
Oy!
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a great bit of footage.
But it was actually quite entertaining.
Yeah.
2.5 hours long, but it was on Channel 5, so...
Channel 5 does excellent television programmes, and I'm looking forward to another 18 episodes of Laugh Out Loud.
Wow.
Ka-ching.
They love that stuff, don't they?
Ka-ching.
The last what?
What?
The last what, did you say, sorry?
Laugh Out Louds.
Oh, Laugh Out Loud.
Yes, it's an excellent television series, and I thoroughly recommend.
I wonder who does that.
There we go, you see. There we go, you see.
Anyway, you know, you're talking about people backstage.
Yes.
That is literally what I did for a living for many years. I was a sound and lighting engineer, so yes, we never got any love.
Sound and vision.
Backstage. So I did most of it in New Zealand, so there you go.
Sound and vision. For movies, television?
Theatre.
Theatre. See, theatre... Now, theatre doesn't really count in show business these days, because it's not the 1800s anymore. So I don't think plays really...
It's not only plays.
Well, what else would they be doing in a theatre apart from plays?
ZZ Top concerts I've worked on.
Well, hang on a second. Suddenly he's back in modern show business. ZZ Top, you say?
Yeah, it was. They were very nice gentlemen. Status Quo, you mentioned the other day. I've done a few Status Quo gigs.
The Quo are coming on the show soon. We're getting the Quo.
Well, half of them.
Half of the Quo. The half that's still got a functioning heart is coming on the show soon. I'm looking forward to that a lot, because it'll be nice to have a chat and to take them seriously and you know, talk about the whole thing of becoming a bit of a joke and then coming out the other side of that as a lot of...
Well, they rode the joke, didn't they? Do the 3-chord tour or something?
Yeah,
and I do have a lot of affection for Status Quo. They've been on top of the pops more than any other band in this country, I think, and that really does say something.
Ask them about their guitar techs, because they're very strict. They won't let anyone near the guitars when you're on stage.
Good for them. Good for them.
I know. It's just quite scary, though. If you even walk near it, you get a guitar tech shouting at you.
I don't understand, right? I went and saw the Bare Naked Ladies a few weeks ago, and I love that band. And Ed Robertson, the lead singer, he got us tickets. He got us standing tickets, and I had a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and the woman said, "I'll swap these for you and get you seats." We went backstage and we met him, and he spoilt the boys absolutely rotten. All these people there to meet him, and he came straight over to me and the boys and said, "Hey guys, how old are you?" And they went 4 and 6. He goes, "Okay, where's your identification?" I went, "What?" "Well, you've got to prove that you're 4 and 6. Otherwise I don't believe that. Where have you got a driving license, a pilot's license?" They said, "Well, we can't fly a plane." He says, "Well, I suppose I need to fly back to Canada. Why do you go?" And they were in hysterics, absolutely hysterics. And they're, you know, they're kind of, I imagine, quite a tight touring unit they have. Not one of the big rocks. But he had a different guitar for almost every song. And you do wonder. All right, an acoustic guitar, yes. An electric guitar, yes. A fancy electric guitar, yes. That's three guitars tops are all you need. Why would you need he must have had 12 or 13 guitars.
Did he have a keytar?
He didn't have a keytar. And Howard Jones came out on stage, but there was no keytar there either.
What?
Yeah, unfortunately. But
Sorry. I'll tell you what's often worse than the guitars is the amount of foot pedals they have.
Oh.
You can have the entire front of the stage sometimes just covered in pedals, and they just use a different one for every song. It's amazing.
Yeah, the pedals, again, again, if you've got... I'll give you 2 guitars and 2 pedals, and one of those pedals has got to be a tuning pedal. And that's it. And the other one's a bit of distortion. That's all you need. What the hell is going on with these guys? Damn you, Bare Naked Ladies. Damn you, all bands that have got... And you go backstage at a rock concert, and they have these wonderful, travel cases, where they look, those big black cases with the silver
hard
around
ones,
the edge.
yeah.
And what did you say?
The hard ones.
Wow, that's not what I heard.
Well,
and
you're hearing a lot from me
You open
tonight.
the cases, and they've got, 24 guitars in there. And you do think, come on, guys. I could save you an absolute fortune by just taking 2 guitars. Hand luggage?
I've got 2 guitars, but I've got one that's too big for me and one that was found in the dump. And I prefer the one that was found in the dump.
Yeah, that's the way it happens. That's always a good phone in, by the way. If you want to phone in on that, what have you bought in? What have you found in the dump? 0844 499 1000.
Well, do you know, I thought of a good topic, going back to that Channel 5 programme, is what's the craziest thing you've ever done to entertain someone?
Well, I do think we have children listening.
All right, keep it clean.
Yes, exactly, Lee. Keep it clean. Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000. I noticed Mark dropped off the switchboard there, obviously realising that we've come out. He thought, that's a Monday night. There'll be we've come straight out of the traps like a greyhound chasing that bloodied hare. And I'm not swearing, it's actually bloodied. That's what they do, isn't it?
Is it?
They chase a hare.
I thought they stuck a bonio in it.
No. It's a hare on a machine. So it's a dead hare.
It's not dead. It's just a pretend one, isn't it?
No. They get a real.
No, they don't.
They're going to chase. They're going to chase a stuffed toy.
Yeah,
is that what you think?
Yeah, dogs are daft.
No. They
stick a chop on it. They'll chase anything.
No, it's I thought it was a. 0844 499 1000. Any common people listening? I thought, because it is a common night.
Well, the dogs.
It was ironic and postmodern in the 90s with Blur, but...
Yeah, I had quite a posh boyfriend who used to go to the dogs.
Oh, dear.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was a real hare that they shoved them. Dead?
I don't think so. Well, it sounded very Coronation Street then, didn't I?
I don't think well, you didn't, because you weren't being massively racist against the Indians.
Not tonight.
0844 499 1000. Alan, Happy Tree, and then it could be you.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So, 0844 499 1000. Alan, Happy Tree, stay there. We call you back. You can call them about anything. So Catherine and I had a little brainstorming session earlier on about who we could invite on the show and stuff. Thank you to all of you who sent in. We kind of tweeted it and we had some great things. So far we have sent emails to Huey Lewis, Julia Davis.
Did you send one to her?
I thought you did.
I couldn't find her agent.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
we
case,
will, though.
We will. Who else did we...
Paddy Considine.
Yeah.
Sharon Horgan. Susie Quattro. Angus Dayton and Jarvis Cocker.
I sent another one to someone as well.
I think Jarvis Cocker would be awesome.
Melanie. Sent one to Melanie. Jarvis Cocker would be excellent, of course. People that have kind of... I think we can take the hint that it's not going to happen. We got the BBC brush off from the Louis Theroux, not from Louis himself, but from people around him. Charlie Brooker never got back in touch. Adam Schlesinger, his people went cold. And here's the one I was really hoping for, Linda and Shannon Lee, Bruce Lee's widow and daughter. And I got the people, I was communicating with people connected with them and they never got back. We may have Neil Innes on Friday. I'm just emailing.
Oh, really?
Just emailing his wife, but he's busy and he can only do it Friday and Saturday. So I'm seeing if he can do Friday, because I've got the kids on Friday, so I'm seeing if he can do Friday evening. But that would be awesome. The Ruttles are going on tour. I love the Ruttles. I really do.
I didn't really know about them until I met you.
You've heard them, though. You've heard the songs, haven't you?
Yeah. They're great. P.P. Arnold's still in the offing. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We've been chasing her for a while.
I had a little cry about Terry Jones at the weekend.
That's really upsetting, but I kind of knew that he wasn't well.
Well, we mentioned, I'm sure it was announced before, because when he was doing the Monty Python live shows, he didn't really say a lot in the show, and when he did, it was quite hard to understand what it was he was saying. I remember I was there with Watk. I remember saying, "What's wrong with him?" And I thought we knew before that he was.
Was the new
poorly.
thing that he had this advanced stage of it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Poor lad, though. And did you see the Michael Palin tweet over the weekend?
Yeah, that was the one, and that picture of them. Oh dear, that was the one that set me off.
At least he gets a flash of recognition. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I've been to see. Well, you encouraged me to go and see my gran when she was in an advanced stage.
Yeah.
And I'd said to you every time, I don't really like to phone her anymore. She doesn't really know who I am, and it's a confused conversation. And when I go and see her, it's not really my gran. And you said, go and see her. And I'm so glad I did, because it ended up being the last time I saw her alive, and also because there was a flash of recognition. At one point, my auntie said to her, Catherine's here. And she'd had her head down the whole time. She was really ill. She had her head down the whole time, and at that point she put her head up and she looked me in the eye, and she looked me in the eye, and a big smile, and she said, "Oh, hello, love," and it was worth it. It was worth everything for just that moment.
I wish I'd spent more time with my granddad. I must have been like about 13 when he started getting ill, and I don't even remember when he died. Was I like 20 or something? I don't know. But I was always I was really uncomfortable around it, and even quite early on when he would tell these long rambling stories about working in the docks, I would just get frozen by embarrassment and fear around it. 13, 14, it's understandable, isn't it? But I wish I had kind of engaged in those stories that he was living in. He wasn't telling stories; he was living in that story. And I wish I had. And towards the end, I mean, it was. He ended up in this horrible place. I remember Roger Daltrey's aunt was there, I think, bizarrely. And it really was, a heartbreaking place for the lost and the bewildered.
And you don't want to go for you, because actually, at that point, you don't think that they're getting anything out of it anyway.
I remember, I can say this story because they're both passed away. I remember they always used to wear tracksuit trousers because they were easy to put on, and a lot of the people there, they all had dementia. Would roll up one trouser leg. It was a really weird thing. It was like everyone had what it was the fashion. And I remember the story as it was recounted to me, my granddad pulled down his tracksuit trousers and had a massive erection. And he said to my nan, Joan, what am I supposed to do with this? And she went, Bill, you're supposed to cover it up and leave it alone. But I wish I'd spent more. I wish I'd spent more time talking with him and kind of going along in that fantasy.
But this is the thing, right? Nobody does.
No.
It's only once they're gone you realise, don't you?
Some good news, and what has perhaps been the worst day of my life, some good news in that I got a phone call from Bucks County Council. It was the weirdest phone call. And I was in a terrible space anyway. And they phoned up this whole situation with my mum, and they said, "Hello, Mr. Lee." Very quiet boy, very softly spoken, because they expect they're going to get a rollicking from me. I was like, "Yes, this is Bucks County Council, yes. Just to let you know that we have come to an arrangement with Leonard Cheshire Disability, and your mum is going to stay in the home." And I was like, "What?" It was totally unexpected. I knew that talks were continuing.
Well, only on your nudging, because when you spoke to Leonard Cheshire, they said that they hadn't finished the conversation.
Oh, it was a done deal. Last week it was a done deal that she was going to be moved out. The council phoned me up and said, we're going to move her out because we cannot match £1,500 a week. We could go, at best we go as high as 1,000, but we probably wouldn't go much higher than 600. So it's a done deal.
But the home didn't know the deal had been done, did they?
So my sister and I sent... I don't want to say angry emails because we weren't rollicking the people at the home, but we sent very emotional emails saying this is outrageous, a move will kill her, and blah, 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 blah. And I phoned up and I said this, and they got back in touch and said, well, no, hang on, as far as we're aware, and this is when it's like playing a game of poker, as far as we're aware, we'd made our initial offer and we were expecting them to come back. So they're haggling over the price between 600 and 1,500. They're haggling over the price. And she said, but they never came back. So we were just assuming they were thinking about the offer that we'd made. Anyway, so they phoned up today and they said, we've come to an arrangement. So bearing in mind she's paying £1,500 a week. We've come to an arrangement where it's £950 a week. Plus your mum will be making some form of contribution to it. Now, I don't know how much that's going to be, but the fact that I'm assuming it's affordable within the remit that the parameters I gave them. And I said, I've had such a stinking day today, and everything that could go wrong went wrong today. And I said, sorry, are you saying that she's going to stay there? And she went, yes. I burst into tears on the phone and went, oh, okay. And she said something else. I don't know what else she said, because I was kind of quite upset. And I went, okay, thanks very much. And then I had a message from the home saying we've sorted it all out and she's going to stay. Now, here's the thing, right? This is brilliant, and I'm going to count this as a victory, and it's brilliant. And, everybody that was telling me to keep on fighting, and I'd kind of given up. But part of me does wonder, is it because I have this job? Is it... they think I still work for the BBC. As I said, I did say to them, I do work for the BBC, and I'll be making sure that there's an investigation into this. I did say that. But part of me thinks, is it because I've got this job and I can go and make that video that's been seen by a couple of thousand people, and I've got 45,000 followers on Twitter, and I can kick up a stink in the media and make both of them look bad?
Well, also, the way things work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of families, when you come up against authority like that, a lot of families will think, well, they wouldn't say that unless it was the only thing they could do. And people fold, don't they, because they assume that those in power have their best interests at heart. Well, we kind of know that isn't always the case.
Well, but I also want to think... well, maybe,
I think your profile definitely played a part,
I think it can't have been the be-all and end-all, because if there simply wasn't the money, then there simply wasn't the money.
But they're hoping you're going to accept that and walk away.
Yeah. So it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant news. I'm thrilled beyond belief and over the moon about that.
You kind of wonder how many other families are getting that kind of news and can't do anything about it.
Part of me also thinks they've dropped the fee by £550 a week. Why couldn't they do that when she was paying? They have taken. How long has she been there? She was there before I got married. So 8 or 9 years. And in that 8 or 9 years, she has given them £325,000 of her money. Hey, listen, if she's going to be there and she's going to be there for the rest of her days, then I am happy with that, and I can, it feels like the care home have made an effort and a compromise, so I can kind of throw myself into activities there and do stuff.
So you're going to take back the Up Yours Leonard Cheshire that you gave him the other week?
Oh, is that on Twitter? I should probably delete that, shouldn't I?
It was at the end of a podcast.
Oh, was it?
I think at that time you were forgiven for doing
that. In that case, well, then let's... That's
how you felt at the time.
No, it is how I felt at the time.
Understandably so.
It is how I felt at the time. And it's weird, man. The thing is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. My mum is one of... I don't know... how many? And however many it is now, it's going to be X times that in 20 years' time.
Yeah.
It's going to be... we're going to be flooded with not immigrants, us, our old people. Us. My mum is now... it's her birthday this weekend. She'll be 66. In 20 years' time, I'll be 63. She went in that home when she was 50, 57, 58. 20 years' time, I could be in that position if I have a bit of bad luck and get ill, Imagine that, God, 14 years' time. Flippin' heck. Doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Doesn't bear thinking about. Oh, that's made me...
We can't live waiting for it to happen.
That's giving me death. That's death maths.
Or stop doing it.
Death maths.
Because it makes no difference being right.
It don't make no difference if you're black or white. As far as I'm concerned, you're not welcome. Whatever colour you are, you're not welcome.
Oh, although we could do with you to, man our care homes.
Well, this is the thing. The care home...
or woman.
The care homes that Mum is in, and a lot of that we looked at in the past, pretty much all Polish people.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all Polish people. The care home have a brilliant thing as well, where they get students from Japan. So they get Japanese people. They get room and board if they help out. So you get these Japanese people that are learning English and want to see England, and they'll come and help out. So there's always... I think they always have two. Alan and Happy Tree, I'll come to you after the news. 0844 499 1000. So you guys got at least two incredibly friendly Japanese people who are always impressed when I say, "Oh, genki desu ka?"
And ask them where your umbrella is.
Yes, kore wa dane no kasa desu ka? And that's all the Japanese I know.
Well, do you know keiki harimasu ka?
Yes, yes. Hi, dozo. Always when I'm offering my chair to the Japanese lady, I say, dozo. They look at me as if to say, whoa. So, no problem. I can't remember any more Japanese. But it's all Polish people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all pretty much Polish people or Eastern European people. And they do, for the most part, apart from the person there that nicked 90 quid off my mum.
We don't know which nationality they were.
No, they all do a cracking job, you know.
When my mother-in-law was in hospital, it was all Spanish nurses.
Mm.
Spanish nurses.
It's mad, isn't it?
They're going to have trouble bringing them over, aren't they, in the future?
God, 14 years. My mum went into line when she was 57.
Stop it.
No, I know, but it's just, it didn't make... I didn't realise quite how young that was until I started approaching that, until now that age is within grasp for me. You know, if I play my cards right, I hadn't realised how young that was when me and my sister made the call to put her in that home.
And she'd been ill for a while before that.
Well, she got diagnosed at the age of 40. She was ill for a couple of years before that. Anyway, so that's a good bit of news, which is groovy. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Remember, guys, we call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Gosh, our new bosses have officially taken over today, guys. Things feel very different. 0844 499 1000. It's a phone-in show unlike any other phone-in show in that there's no real agenda. You call in and you talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Simple as that. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Love a bit of that. Chaz and Dave and Lonnie Donegan. I'll chase up Chaz, see if we can get an interview there. I'm sure they'll be up for that. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Catherine joins me in the studio, which is always a delight for
me.
Well, no, for the people watching on Periscope. They like to see the woman. If you want to watch the show, you can. Periscope.tv/Iain Lee, IAINLEE.
But beware, because I'm often told I don't look like how I sound.
That's outrageous. Does anybody look like how they sound?
I was invited for an interview once. I thought it was an interview. Then I left thinking maybe it was a date by someone who wanted to see what I looked like, basically. And he thought I would be a large blonde.
Okay.
I think I was quite a disappointment.
You were a large brunette. Meatloaf? When he had long hair, I think he looks like he sounds.
I thought you were saying I look like Meatloaf.
Oh, gosh, no. I think he looks like how he sounds. Mackenzie Crook looks like how he sounds. Angular. Thin.
Pertweeded. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, because that really makes my ovaries shrivel.
Sally, let me just get me cunnilingus head.
Oh, stop it.
What a delicious
Oh, God.
Right, now let me just get me...
No.
From behind.
No. It's disgusting. And the worst thing is the face.
Thing is, Wurzel Gummidge couldn't have sex vigorously with Aunt
His head
Sally.
would fall off.
Well, his head would fall off and he'd be chasing it all over the place. Also, could start a fire.
Also, he's made out of straw.
Yeah. No. Well, there's a way.
The Crowman can only do so much.
Yeah.
Can't fix that.
Aunt Sally, I can't get it up.
Stop it.
Do you want me to finish you off?
Huh? No, pour in the tea. Pour in the tea.
Nice cup of tea and slice the cake, Aunt Sally. Want me to finish pouring it off here? There we go. It's delicious.
That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, it's only Mike in Nottingham.
Hello.
Hello, Mike.
Wurzel Gummidge, didn't he go out with a mannequin?
Yes, he did.
You want fussy, let's be fair.
He went out with Aunt Sally, played by Uma Thurman.
Yeah,
no, not Uma Thurman, Una Stubbs.
But he also fancied himself a bit of Barbara Windsor, who was a masthead, wasn't she?
He's only human.
Only one, though.
A human strawman. I said, it was only a human straw.
Oh, here's the thing. I used to hate Wurzel Gummidge.
find
I've only
it
ever
creepy.
seen bits of it because I thought it was a Sunday tea time show, wasn't it? Boring. Anything on a Sunday tea time is boring.
Well, I found it creepy, and your impression has just reinforced that view.
Yep.
But on a Sunday tea time, it was that, and I knew when the O'Needin line came on, it was home time from Grandma's. School in the morning.
I don't remember. I'm a bit young for Wurzel Gummidge. But where would they have put his strawman witch with that woman?
What?
The mannequin.
What did he say?
He's talking about Wurzel Gummidge's widge, and you encouraged it.
Oh, that's true. Let's discourage it. But he used to keep his heads floating around in a barrel, didn't he?
Now, that inspired me. Has anyone seen Return to Oz?
Yes.
The 90th. God, when I was a little kid, that movie made me cry my eyes out. It was horrific, with the woman who attached her head.
Terrifying. What's she called? Mumby or something, and she had loads and loads of heads stored up that she could stick on. Oh, it was horrible.
Oh, it was. Oh, it's horrible. And the TikTok was pretty cool, but the rest of it, terrible.
Them wheelies. Those people with the long arms. Oh,
it's quite a scary film. I think it's a U or a 12.
No wonder I'm warped.
Exactly. I'm dead excited, everyone.
Go on.
But as we're aware or you may not be aware, that all of the Star Trek series is on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh, this is your department.
Yes, I'm aware of this.
So,
yep.
So I've been watching a little bit of Voyager. No interest in Enterprise. I was going to dip into Deep Space Nine. They've got
you're losing the crowd here, Mike. You've got to turn this around quickly.
Well, by Star Trek, the animated series with the original voice, it's got the proper cast.
Yeah, I know.
How can that be turning people off?
We had a long day on Saturday. We went to the relaunch of the Beano, and we saw such celebrities there like Sam Delaney.
That I see every day.
I tell you what was nice. I saw Helen Lederer there. I love Helen Lederer. She's so sweet.
Has she got children, or she just likes the Beano?
It's her grandkids. And she's so sweet, Helen Lederer. And I can't remember how we know each other, but anyway, it was really nice to have a little chat. And I introduced her to my boys, and they were like, all shy. And they went, "Oh, Helen, my friend Helen is an actress, and she's been in that TV programme, was it Saucy Jack's Boat?"
Salty.
That's a great show.
Salty Dog and Me. Old Jack's Boat.
Yeah, that's it.
My kids don't like that. They go, oh no, not Salty Jack.
Oh, they like that. But so it's a relaunch, right? And we got to go past all the plebs because we were celebrities.
Wow.
It was true.
You're teaching this to your boys?
Now, here's the thing, right? It was, and we were treated like kings, and we got a lovely goodie bag and free hot dogs, and I bought a Dennis the Menace T-shirt. Which
Did you?
Yeah, I bought one. I'll wear it tomorrow.
I want one.
I'll wear it later in the week. Is good. And the boys, for the most part, had a great time, right? But it was organised by PR people who, I'm guessing, didn't really understand kids. We got. I mean, there were a lot of kids there, and there wasn't. It was great, by the way. It was great, and I love the Beano, and I'm glad it's kind of relaunched. It's got a swish new website and everything, right? But there was like a bouncy castle thing with a spinning thing. You can only have 6 kids in at a time, and you got like 90 seconds. Then they got off, and my youngest didn't want to go on it. And then about half an hour later, he wanted to go on it, and I said to the guy, "Can this one go on?" He said, "Well, what group are you in?" I went, "Sorry." What group? You red? You blue? I said, I've got no idea. I just know that he's not had a go, and he'd like to have a go now, please. And he said, right, well, he can have a go on the next one. And then my boy didn't. And then this guy gave me a dirty look, and I was thinking, mate,
this is supposed to be fun,
mate. And it was really hot in there, and it was way too loud. My boys have got very sensitive ears, and they were both. And there was lots of shouting going on, and loud music, and people shouting into microphones. I didn't know what they were shouting into microphones for. That beside the point, right? They had a brilliant thing called a splatterpult, and this was fun, right?
A what?
A splatterpult. So it's a really powerful catapult, right? And you could load it up with. They had this trolley there. Cream cakes, jellies, eggs, cartons of milk.
It would be move aside, kids. This is Mummy's turn.
It was brilliant, and we got there, right. The boys had 3 goes each on it, and the first time we got there, there was no one else there, so they were having a couple of goes, and they were firing eggs off to the into the thing. It was brilliant. That bit was brilliant, and we got to climb through Dennis the Menace's window. That was the way you got into the exhibition, was climbing through his window and jumping on his bed, then walking through his wardrobe. I can't show you the pictures; they're on my phone. But they got to wear these lab coats because there was lots of gunge everywhere, and so there was a machine where you could pump gunge through, and the boys were loving that. And then they had a gunge tank, and they allowed kids to go in there. And I said to the boys,
how did they get home?
Well, this is it. And
squelching, obviously.
Well, I said to the boys, "You don't want to do that, do you?" And they said no. And I said, "Okay, good," because I'd have made a daddy call and said, "No, you can't go in there." And I was watching it thinking, right, well, they must have fresh clothes for the kids. But they didn't. They didn't even have towels.
Oh, that's fundamental.
That's a fundamental, Mike. And also, it was about 2 inches deep in the thing, and I saw a girl with, like, sheepskin boots go into the gunge tank. They'd be ruined, Mike.
Well, you'd say, surely the obvious thing to do is just take the shoes and socks off.
But there was none of that. There was absolutely...
Sounds like a collection of bad parents.
Well, no, it sounds like people have put on an event and not thought it through.
It was sometimes PR events are put on by people who don't have kids. But saying that, I cannot stress that once the boys got over the noise was the big thing for us. Is they found it too noisy, and they found that quite intimidating. It was only on for 2 hours, and after an hour, quite a few people had gone, so it became easier to get around. And it's amazing that Dennis the Menace, I mean, that's got to be 70 years old, 80 years old, I'm going to say. It's still Dennis probably isn't, but the Beano probably is. The fact it's still going, and it's still captivating kids.
It's a shame that Dandy went. That went up for 5-10 years ago now.
Did it go?
That was always my weapon of choice, yeah.
Yeah, you were usually one or the other, weren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And my brother was Beano, I was Dandy. Presumably our parents manipulated that situation to buy one of each.
Yeah. Mine did the same.
But it's a shame Desperate Dan gone.
Yeah. That's odd. That's odd. I mean, the Beano has done brilliantly in an age when print media is dying. They're still going. You don't, as you say, you don't get a free gift with it every week,
and that just goes to show exactly. That just goes to show that people want stories. You know, my little girls. If ever I'm in, Tesco or wherever, they'll say, "Can we have a comic?" And I'll look, and all they're doing is looking through everything's got a plastic bit of stuck to it, and they're just choosing what toy they want. And I say, there's nothing to read in this. Whereas my dad's got a subscription to the Beano for my eldest. My little one can't read yet, but she will be able to soon. And she loves it, and she devours it every single week. The only problem is it's a bit bit too thin, but I mean, you can't wish for everything.
Well, we got the Beano Annual. The Beano Annual, and my youngest said, "Can we play the games now?" I said, "I don't think there's any games now. I think it's all stories, you know." And we were enjoying. Sorry, Mike, we were enjoying the art of it. There was, the pictures on the inside of the cover when it's just packed full of stuff.
Brilliant.
And the Boy and Gone, Mike. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, just about the issue is supermarkets sell books there cheaply. So I bought my little girl on Saturday. I got her the CBeebies magazine. It was £3, and I got a guitar, a flute, and a tambourine with that. But then, so that was $3.25, $3.50. But you can get a Julie Donaldson book for $3.99. So normally I just buy the books.
I've started doing that as well, because you look at those toys and you think, I give it 2 days before I'm scooping that towards the bin.
Oh
and
no,
see if they notice, and they never notice.
They open it in the car and they lose bits in the car. I said, "Don't open it in the car, lads. Let's do it." And they lose it, and they don't care. They've got. Here's the thing I've discovered. Me personally, and the boy, we've got too much stuff. There's too much stuff. Don't need all this stuff. And I want to just get rid of all the stuff, Mike, and start again, Mike. That's what I want to do.
It doesn't matter how much stuff you. I did a big clear out recently. Cause I've got loads of loads of rubbish. I want to use a slightly sweary word beginning with C, but I won't.
You can say crap.
Loads of crap.
Yeah.
So I went and threw loads of it out, and I looked round and thought, still full of crap. It's just slightly less in a high pile now.
Yeah.
Depressing. Ruins your house, doesn't it?
It is, Mike. I've got to move on because we've got Happy Tree waiting and Alan, and they've been waiting for ages. 0844 499 1000. But. The Beano's got a swish new website. And it is, they understand what the thing is. You go on the website, it's got cartoons and it's got, we were watching how to make a catapult out of pencils and rubber bands. Brilliant.
My daughter will love that. I'll have to have a look.
It is worth having a look. And we were treated, it was the main thing at the thing was it's too noisy and there were too many people there. Once that had subsided, it was fun. I wouldn't have envied clearing up that place.
But they decided to have the gunge.
I might invite Helen Lederer on because she's lived the life. Yeah, I might do. I love Helen. I think we must have been on Big Brother's bit on the side or something together, and we just kind of got on because we were the old people there. And she's always been so sweet to me. And and Helen Lederer, she's in this kid show, but when I was growing up in the 80s, her and French and Saunders were the only funny women we saw on TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was like, she had that. Because she's got those eyes, those piercing eyes. She had that nuts woman character down to a T. She's not nuts at all. She's very, very with it. But that kind of slightly manic character down to a T. And what was she on? She was on, was it Naked Video she was on? Was that the first thing she was on?
I can't remember, but I do remember her sitting on a bar stool and always being a little bit, supposed to be a bit drunk, talking about a horrible date she'd been on and stuff. She was great.
Her and French and Saunders were the only ones, and the fact that she's...
Well, and Victoria Wood.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm always, whenever we bump into each other, maybe once a year, and I'm always amazed that she's not working more than she is.
Maybe she doesn't need to.
No, she'd like to be.
She did Splash, didn't she?
She did
She's
Splash.
the one that got winched in.
I can't remember, but she said, I remember her telling me at the time it paid really, really well.
I bet it did. And you know what? We thought it was going to be pony, didn't we?
It was good Splash. Enjoyed Splash. 0844 499 1000. Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Nice laid-back Monday show. We've covered so much in the... Someone sent a tweet the other day, and I cannot remember who it was, and they said, I've got topics for your show. I thought it was very funny. Monday, and I can't remember exactly what it is, so I'm making some up. Monday, it'll be Brave Dogs. Tuesday, time travel movies. Wednesday, what's your middle name? Thursday, and I don't know, 5 things. And I retweeted it because I thought it was quite funny. And someone said, I've heard Iain do all of those topics with one caller in 15 minutes. I thought, yeah, actually, you're right.
You haven't got a middle name anyway, have you?
No, I haven't. It's Lee. Lee was my middle name. Rugby was my last name, and I chopped that off and
Guess
moved
what mine is?
Deborah.
No.
Alison.
No.
Katanga.
How did you know?
There we go. 0844 499 1000. I was going to say something when we came back there. Talking about the Beano. I don't remember. Let's go to Happy Tree. Good evening, Happy Tree.
Hello there. Do you remember a comedy written by Ben Elton called Happy Families?
Tell me a little bit more about it, please.
It was a tour de force of Jennifer Saunders, who was playing several different characters. An old woman who was dying, and then some daughters who were supposed to donate a kidney or something like that.
I don't remember
And Stephen
it, no.
Fry and all these people were in it.
No, I don't remember it.
Oh, well, because Helen Lederer was the maid in that. And I remember her performance being particularly strange.
Yeah, I bet she was brilliant. I think she's wonderful, you know. And I don't know why we don't see more of her. We'll get her on the show. I'll ask her if she wants to
Female
come on the show.
comedians have a hard time of it getting into the...
Because they're not funny, is the received and perceived wisdom. Women aren't funny. Women can't be funny. I've never understood that. Funny's funny, isn't it? Funny's funny.
Well, you know, I've come through the school of people don't like listening to women on the radio.
Well, that's true.
That.
Oh, who was speaking there? This high-pitched whine in my ear. What was that?
Wow! But that's what I was warned about when I first started out, you know.
Yeah. I know, it's nuts,
And
isn't
I've got
it?
quite a deep voice.
I just want to listen to people on the radio that are good. I don't care if they've got a penis or a vagina.
They might have both.
They might have both, or they might have neither. I couldn't give a monkeys. Are they good? Yeah, okay, brilliant. I'll have a listen to them.
Yeah.
And they say, you know, are they funny? Well, even if I don't find them funny, someone else might find them funny.
I think some of the problem, especially with sort of comedian stuff, is that for a long time they had to do the circuit, you know, in the old days. And if you've got kids, it's just not conducive, is it?
Women's problems, yeah.
Well, you know, still something that women have to think about for the majority of the time.
They should have a creche.
I actually have the very good maternity leave system in Estonia to thank for my job, because they allowed women to leave for 3 years.
Wow.
Sweet
They get paid for 18 months, full salary, and then they can extend it if they want for another 18 months, you know, if they can. And also they can chain it. So what you get women doing here is, well, families doing, I guess, it's not just the women by themselves, having, you know, a couple of children in succession, and they can be away from their job for 6 years and then come back.
I couldn't have afforded it. I think I went back to work when both of my kids were like 4 months old, but that was more financial.
I'd be bored. I'd be bored at 6.
I wasn't bored. I made loads of stuff while I was on maternity leave. I was like really prolific.
Made 2 babies.
Well, yeah. But I set up a little business while I set up a little business while I was off. But it I don't know. I have to make something. I have to turn something out, and I do enjoy being at work, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But yeah, I just couldn't have afforded to stay away for more than the time I had.
They have in Sweden. They have long paternity and maternity leave as well, don't they? It's all much more geared. We voted out of Europe, guys, so we ain't gonna.
Well done.
We ain't going to see none of that nonsense over here. What else you got for us, Happy Tree?
Well, actually, I was phoning to take issue with a point you missed in the debate so far.
That's been missed in the debate so far, sir. Yes, sir.
It's quite easy for me to do a Limmy impression, really. I just need to...
Oh, hang on. No, it's not that. It's not that easy, because I didn't recognise it was Limmy.
I tell you, man. The boy's got a trade. We've got a trade.
It's not Limmy. He was doing generic Scotch.
Well, okay. Anyway, it was the shocking revelation you said about how the people only need 2 guitars. What kind of crazy world are you living in?
You need acoustic and electric. You could play. Most people could play a show. Small bands can play shows on that. It's just when bands get bigger that it goes to their egos, and they have to then find reasons to spend their money. So they hire a guitar tech and a massive truck to move all these 25 guitars out there. It's ridiculous.
I'm not even in a band, and I have 8.
Yeah, well, I've got
10 guitars.
Well, I've got a rack full of guitars and bass guitars, and I have 2 different bass guitars, 3 different bass guitars, and they all do different things. But if I were to go and do a concert, I wouldn't take them with me. I'd go, which one am I going to trust? This one. I'm going to go for
I would like one more guitar, and then I'm done.
2 of each, though, because if you break a string, you can't say to the audience, "Okay, hold on while I change a string," and then tune it up.
No, hang on. If you've got a guitar tech, they'll change the string for you.
Yeah, but you still need to swap it.
Well, then you just do a different song.
All right, sorry guys, Killer Queen, we can't do that. I've just broken a string. We'll do.
Well, play on. If people are any good, we've all seen this. Rock stars, they break a string, they play on. And if they're any good at guitar, because of course when you break a string, quite often some of the strings around it go out of tune. They can bend the string so that it sounds like it's in tune.
Play up the frets, man.
Yeah, come on. I'm not buying it, Happy Tree. I'm not buying it. It's extravagance. And it's the most part, it's fuelled by cocaine.
Oh, well, as you wish.
Thank you very much indeed. I do wish.
That told him.
That told him. It is. It's an extravagance that is unnecessary.
Yeah, I'd like another guitar, though.
Well, again, I mean, it's nice to have them, and they look
I've
good.
got enough room.
But again, I've got these guitars. I never touch them, and I just think it's just things. It's just things.
And stuff.
I might do a KLF and burn all my things.
Well, let me have a first dibs on them first.
No. Going to burn it all.
No, don't burn it all.
Just going to burn it.
Also, remember last time you had a chuck out? You spent the whole time trying to buy it all back.
I'm giving away my first 5 binders of The Unexplained because...
They were last in, first out.
Well, yeah, exactly, because I've got the full set elsewhere now, so I can get rid of the first 5, and I've put it on Free Cycle. And Free Cycle seems to have got a bit sniffy in the day. Hey, I bought that reel-to-reel tape player. It's like 25 quid or something, and it didn't work.
No.
Didn't work.
The idea of it was nice, though.
Yeah, it was nice, but it didn't work. The motor worked, but it didn't work, and I fiddled with it. I looked up online, and I thought, this is beyond me. So I bought it for about 25 quid. I put it on eBay for £1.50. Someone won it for £1.50, and the guy was really nice. He said, if you want to relist it, then relist it. I said, that's very kind of you, but I was going to chuck it. It's taken up space. I can't get it to work. As long as you can come and collect it, you can have it. Mm-hmm. He came and collected it last Wednesday morning, 11 o'clock. 2:30, I had a message from him. He lives in Watford. So he'd driven all the way back. He said, thanks so much for that. I've just let you know, I've cleaned it up and I've greased it and I've put on a new head and I've got it working perfectly.
Well,
part of me thought, can I have it back then, please?
It was meant to be his.
It was meant to be his. I'm glad it's I'm got to stop buying stuff, and I'm going to have a big clear out of stuff. But see, most of the stuff I've got are records, CDs, and books. I don't want to.
You can't bin books.
Can't bin books.
You can't bin records.
I don't want to. But where am I going to? They take up my whole life. Anyway. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio. It's a late night phone-in show, unlike any other late night phone-in shows. In that we're not talking about Trump and Clinton. Oh, this is listen to this tweet. Right, this is how thick Talk Sport listeners are.
Go on.
Right? Listening to Jason Cundy and Andy Goldstein on Talk Radio talking about Big Sam better than Trump Clinton. Well, you got the wrong station, you prune.
He won't know. He's listened to them.
You utter prune. It's Social Media John 1. Can you all just go and tell Social Media John spelt JON 1? Can you all go? I'm not saying troll him because that's bad, but just send the word prune. Can you do that? Actually, can you do that? So it's at Social Media John JON 1. Is that trolling if I get everybody to send the word
bit,
prune?
Yeah.
I'm not saying. But prune, all right. Plum.
Yeah.
Because plum's a
Prune's
nice...
a bit hard.
Plum. So just send the word plum. Don't mention me.
No. Because they're usually quite hard there, listeners.
He's Social Media John. You'd think he'd know... Oh, dear, what a plum. At Social Media John 1.
Do you know what?
Yeah?
It happens quite a lot.
Yeah, I know, because they're all idiots.
The late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
A steady stream of callers this evening. Have we had any women calling in?
Not yet.
We haven't, have we?
Not that I noticed. I mean,
no.
One of the Lees might have been.
Yep, possibly Lee number 2. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's Caddick.
What kind of cake?
Well done, Alan. That is excellent. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying, and we're not going to explain that. I do think that maybe should be the greeting for the gold level losers. The gold. You are now a gold level loser, Alan.
Mind the lemon drizzle.
Well, you can see a doctor about that. I think if you can get some antibiotics to clear that up, that will... Hey, Alan, do you remember last week I mentioned about when I introduced The Who live on stage?
Yeah.
Gareth, right, who's the producer who was recording it that night, he's only got in touch and sent me the clip of it.
Oh, nice one.
Do you want to have a listen?
Yeah, have a listen.
This is me on stage at the Royal Albert Hall. Catherine heard this earlier on.
Yeah, when you played it to me, I was really surprised and impressed. I was surprised that it was verbatim what you told me it was, because I thought you'd been bigging yourself up.
No. You listen to me working this crowd like it's Madison Square Garden or something. It's Royal Albert Hall, and I'm working them. Listen to this. Here we go.
This is the most, this is the most exciting thing I have ever done in my life, without a shadow of a doubt. They're not one of the greatest rock and roll bands in the world. They are the greatest rock and roll band in the world. The Who.
Ladies and gentlemen, it cuts out before the Who come on. We couldn't play that for copyright reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you introduce a band.
Did you think of that beforehand, or did it occur to you?
I got a feeling I probably came up with that beforehand, because that is spot on. That is spot on. That is the perfect... I was imagining, I genuinely was imagining I was at Madison Square Garden about 1975 when the Who were... And that's who I introduced on stage. They didn't come on stage for about another 8 minutes. I think there was a technical problem. But still, did you hear that, Alan? That's how you work a crowd.
Brilliant.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Reminds me of when Richard's going to introduce Live Aid.
When who introduced Live Aid?
Richard Skinner.
Oh, Richard Skinner. Well,
Who's Richard Skinner?
Oh, come on. Richard Skinner, he introduced Live Aid. He was a disc jockey.
The Radio 1 DJ.
Yeah, wasn't he? One of the few ones that's still walking around. He was good, Richard Skinner. I think he opened Live Aid. Is that correct, Alan?
Yeah.
There we go, you see.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world it's time for Live Aid.
Hang on a minute. Let's do this.
Let's do it properly.
Let's do it properly. Hang on a second. I've really got to sort this out. Go on, Alan. Away you go. Introduce it.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world it's time for Live Aid.
Oi, they weren't...
Tough crowd.
That was a tough crowd, Alan. They were... Try it again.
It's 12 noon in London. Oh, better stop. Me mum's shouting. I better go.
We got him done.
Here we go. Alan Caddick is cheered off the stage as his mum, who has stared death in the face recently, and that's not even an exaggeration.
She's listening to that downstairs. Can you imagine?
We'll get called tomorrow. My mum's gone back to hospital because she had a bit of mischief in the night because I was shouting. I was introducing Live Aid.
I haven't got someone done by their mum for years.
It was great.
Still a thrill.
Again, I had a clip somewhere when Verinda used to call us on Absolute. And the best phone call ended with, "I've got to go, my mum's coming." Phone went straight down. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to talk about a secret society.
You like to talk about what?
Talk about a secret society.
Well, that kind of spoils it for them, doesn't it?
Well, let's see where we go, because I don't know.
It's a very unusual secret society.
Oh, this might be fun. Okay.
It's called the 16s, and it's a glorified dining club. But the unusual things about this secret society is there can only ever be 16 members at one time. Yes. One of whom is Prince Charles, who is the only permanent member of the 16s.
Yeah.
And what these members do is that they dine on a regular basis, and then each of them have to give a short speech.
Yeah.
But as they do the speech, they have to pour themselves a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Then unzip John Thomas and put it into the glass of wine and give the speech.
Okay, yeah, so they put the penis in a glass of wine. Yeah, who hasn't done that? It's always nice to get a little Willy drunk. Okay.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, you could do something like that for Christmas. You could set up a dining ring.
I think my mother-in-law might be furious with me if I were to do that again.
No, a dining ring for yourself and 15 of your male listeners, like Nigel or Alan Caddick or Russ.
I know what this is. You're just trying to engineer a scenario in which you can all get together with no women. Is that right, Jonathan?
No, I've got a solution for the women. You could have Kath's knitting ring for all the female listeners.
But hang on a minute, we like booze too.
Let's just go back a couple of steps. How do you know? What's this group called? The 16?
Yes.
How do you know about the 16? If it's so secret? Someone's blabbing.
I was a friend of one of the former leaders.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
This is the second friend you boasted of.
You were a friend. So but how does one become a 16? Surely if Prince Charles is the head, pun intended, then they must be people of import and power. Certainly money.
You have to be invited to be a member.
Yeah. You have to have gone to St David's College, Oxford, by the looks of it. It's on Wikipedia. It's not that secret, is it?
I told someone about this a couple of years ago, and he was in hysterics about it.
I would have to. The thing is, I don't know. Can you get a yard of ale anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, they'd be able to supply one for me, would they? Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to make a speech.
You'd never get it out.
You walk straight into that one. But why do you want me to encourage my listeners to put their penises in glasses of wine, Jonathan?
Because it's hilarious, the thought of all these misfits who listen to your show, and you have a good time. You have Christmas dinner in a swanky hotel.
He said swanky.
But they have, in order to get that free meal, they have to give a speech while dipping their wick into a glass of port.
I don't. Yes, the wick is important. I don't want to pay. Hang on, I'm paying for it.
Well, it's your show.
I don't want to see 15 port-stained penises. Really,
Jonathan does.
Well, Jonathan can pay for it.
He's been thinking about them a lot.
In that case, the thing is, I mean, I remember. I wasn't public school or anything. I went to a grammar school, but it was a cruddy grammar school. But I remember, I used to get my dick out and stuff like that. But boys do. It's funny. I remember my friend and I'd be driving a car, and when he wasn't looking, I'd get it out, and he. Oh, for goodness sakes! Put that away.
I didn't go to a public school either, but I shared a house with two girls who went to Cheltenham Ladies.
Yeah.
I spent a long time. Hang on, Jonathan.
Jonathan, shut up.
Hang on, Jonathan. I spent a lot of time at parties putting them back in their frocks.
Yeah.
They're pretty free and easy with their bodies. People that go to these boarding schools, because they've all been gals together.
Yeah.
I don't give them monkeys. I came home once and they were wrapped in cellophane.
Ooh.
And another time they were sitting on a box that had a boy in it.
Well, these things.
Anyway, fun times.
Fun times, Jonathan. Go on. What were you going to say?
Yeah, well, when the times you got your wick out, you were being common. I'm suggesting that you do so in a
Classy
place of elegance and taste, as a sort of up yours to the established order.
Okay, Jonathan. Well, thank you very much
indeed. He wants to get your willy out, doesn't he?
He does. Calling it wick as well.
No, how old-fashioned.
And
John Thomas as well, he said. Funny.
I used to go to college with a guy called John Thomas. Yeah, and then he left after the first term and he went and worked in a bank.
I went to school with a lad called Richard Head.
Yeah, well...
We didn't notice until he changed his name.
Wayne King, of course, Yeah. Oh, wait, and of course we've heard a text to a radio station from Connie Lingers. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. Dan's on the line. Good evening, Dan.
No, it's Rupert.
Oh, gosh, new boss. They've taken over today. Yes, hello, Rupert.
Yeah, first I thought I'd just check up on what's happening. Yes, I want to welcome you to the News Corporation family.
Thank you, sir.
I'm hoping that at the moment you've received your welcome pack.
I must have missed that. I didn't see anything, no.
There was a jar of Vegemite. Did you not receive the Vegemite?
I did receive. Yes, I did receive that. I wondered who that was from. That's excellent. Thank you, sir.
That's good. Now, the thing I'm thinking about, Ian, you probably know that I'm all about the brown synergies.
Yes, yeah. Oh, brown synergies, very zeitgeisty, very zeitgeisty.
Very zeitgeisty. Have you heard of the Great British Bake Off?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's beautiful. Great programme.
Now, are you aware that I own a significant portion of that programme?
Yes, I am.
We are looking for new hosts for that programme, Ian.
Hey.
Now, I'm thinking Mel and Sue. They used to host a lightly satirical 1990s comedy show.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They're no longer available.
No.
Now, I was thinking, who have I got on the books that used to host a lightly satirical 1990s show?
Yes.
Well, it was in the thousands, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, technically, yes, but...
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
No, but people often mistake it as being in the 1990s. I think there was one series in 1999, but the majority of it was in the 2000s. But listen, if there's a gig going, Catherine, button out of it.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, there could be something in it for Catherine here as well.
Oh.
Boom.
I need two people.
Yeah.
I was thinking Katie Puckrick and Donna McPhail.
Oh, for crying out loud. I mean...
This is the way it's going to be, isn't it?
Donna McPhail was a stand-up who was quite advanced in the circuit when I was toyed with. I would never class myself... I did class myself as a stand-up, but I wouldn't retrospectively. Didn't she host with Bert Tyler Moore Gaytime TV? Wasn't there the programme BBC 2 in the evening? And it was like the first... It seems funny now. Like the first kind of overtly gay programme. Was it Donna McPhail? She certainly hosted... was it the Sunday show that she did? No, it wasn't. It was Bert Tyler Moore and Rona Cameron hosted Gaytime TV, and Donna McPhail hosted what I think was called the Sunday show,
right?
Which was a really good show, actually. And isn't that where Dennis Pennis started on the Sunday show? It was on like Sunday mornings, and it was quite BBC.
Oh, she was good. I like her.
She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was either BBC 2 or Channel 4. I think it was BBC 2. And it was actually quite cutting edge. I hate that phrase, but I'm struggling to describe it. It was quite rude and subversive.
The Sunday show. I used to like watching that.
Was it BBC 2?
Yeah.
About 11 o'clock in the morning? Something like that. There was Dennis Pennis on there. I think Garner probably wrote for it.
It says... Yeah, Paul Kane is Dennis Pennis persona.
Yeah, that's
Paul
where he came
Tonkinson. McPhail, who was regarded as an outspoken Ledette lesbian. She wasn't.
She was, no, she was...
She was just a...
But I suppose then, it was having someone who was overt, who was out as a lesbian on a TV show. Even then, when was this? 1997, I'm going to say?
Between 95 and 96.
It's amazing to think that was shocking, that was... Oh, and then I think they made a big thing. We've got a lesbian presenter, guys. And we don't care.
She was really funny, though. I remember her. She was great. I used to love that programme.
I wonder what Donna McPhail's up to.
Well, let's see if we can find her.
These days, because she was... She was funny. And it's interesting, isn't it? I count myself in this group of people who sort of were on TV for a bit and people kind of thought, I wonder where they're going to go next. And it turns out they went nowhere, basically. But Donna McPhail was very funny. Paul Tonkinson, who was I had lunch with Paul Tonkinson in Crouch End. Gosh. Not that long ago. I still lived in Muswell Hill, but I was married, so within the last 7-8 years. Why did we get in touch with each other? Oh, I think he reached out to coin an Americanism because I was having one of my many tough times, and he kind of got in touch and said, "Do you want to go out for a lunch or something?"
That was sweet of him.
It was sweet of him. He was a very nice guy. I think he had discovered Christianity, and that was working for him.
Ah, right.
But he was nice. We went to Banners in Crouch End, which is a really nice place. I was there once. I saw Baby Spice there. That's the kind of place.
Where it's at, man.
That's where it's at. But that tangent went nowhere. But it doesn't matter. Pablo.
Hip hip hip.
Hip hip hip.
How do?
You all right, fella?
Yeah, can't grumble. Oh, I was going to say the Sunday show. Peter Kay was also on that. He had it was the start of his whole. Wasn't it great when toys were good and the like?
Peter Kay. I don't remember Peter Kay. I remember Dennis Pennis, and they had other. Because because when I went for the interview for the 11 o'clock show, they asked me what I thought of Pennis, and I said I didn't think he was that funny. And the woman, one of the people interviewing me, said, "Oh, well, that was my idea, and I produced those." And I went, "Oh, okay." But fair play, I stood by it. I said, I just didn't think it was that. I thought it was a bit one trick thing, really.
Well, I vividly remember Peter Kay got Evel Knievel jumping doll thing and got an audience member out to lie down whilst he got a jump the canyon of the track. So it definitely, he was on it, I think, albeit briefly before.
I'm not Pablo. Hey, listen, if it feels like I've called you a liar, I apologise. I believe you.
Don't question me, Ian.
I believe you, but I won't question you anymore, Pablo. I believe you. I believe he was on there.
I apologise. I just wanted to...
I apologise. I apologise. It got a bit tense there.
Breathe. Sit down.
There's a lot of tension in the air. Sam Allardyce, who is the England football manager, he's come out as bent.
Is that Football United or football?
England football. It's a story. I'm watching it unfold on Twitter. There's a big story about him being bent, taking bungs.
Allegations of.
Well, yes, of course. Thank you. There's the Clinton. Trumpton debate is about to go off in a couple of hours. There's a lot of tension in the air. There's tension in the air, Pablo. Let's not bring it to this show. Let's leave the tension at the doorstep.
Let's get the port out, unzip our metaphorical flies,
and put out.
Well, this entire time I've had my John Thomas in a cup of coffee. It's been smarting a little bit.
I wouldn't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you get an email from the show that starts like this, from someone whose last name is Snail.
Fair enough.
Hi, Ian. Melanie asked me about setting up that radio interview for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie is coming on the show. She's in Los Angeles, so I guess you could do it by Skype or FaceTime. We'll do it by Skype. Thanks for reaching out, and hopefully she will reschedule her UK dates for next spring.
Boom.
Well, Melanie's coming on the show. How cool is that? I love... Do you know Melanie, Pablo?
It's lost on me, I'm afraid.
Oh,
You'll know it. You'll know it.
Have I got any Melanie on this computer? Because I love me a bit of... right, I need to get me... You talk to Pablo while I get my hard drive out.
All right, flipping it. He's getting his hard drive out and everything, Pablo. This is serious.
The clean one.
Oh.
Right, I was like the revelation that you play a bit of guitar yourself.
Yeah.
Ian often plays. You should grab his guitar.
I play it very badly. I also play... Well, I've got a really good guitar teacher who's a classical guitarist, and I'm dragging her down to my level. The thing is, right, she was a child prodigy. So I asked her once how long ago she started playing, because she's like, she's a professional... That's her job. She's a guitarist. And she said to me, seriously? I said, She said, well, I was messing around till I was about 3. 3. She was doing concerts at 6.
But can she play this? Oh, listen to this. Oh, have you heard? This is her doing James Taylor. Listen to this. Here we go. Here we go.
In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? And ain't it just like a friend of mine to come and hit me from behind? And I'm going to Carolina.
Oh, come on. Isn't that nice?
I've never heard that before.
Isn't that stunning? And she's got the songs you'll know. Let me just quickly
Brand New Keys, what
yeah,
I know.
let me just do the hits for you. Hang on a second, Pablo. Here we go. I mean, this is... Everyone knows this song, but you probably know the Wurzels version, right?
I rode my bicycle past your window last night. I roller skated to your door at daylight. It almost seems like you're avoiding me. I'm okay alone, but you got something I need. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
Everyone knows that song, right? Here's the other one. Here's another one, right? And this is... We just get the hits out of the way. Here we go.
Well, you know that I'm not a gambler, but I've been gambled on. They put in a nickel and I sing a little song.
Do you know this one?
No.
Oh, this is great.
They put in a nickel and I sing a little song. Well, I don't mind.
So there's that. Give me one more hit. This is you know, a bit silly, but
Look what they done to my song.
do you know this? Oh man.
No, I don't.
Look what they done to my song. Well, it's the only thing that I could do half right, and it's turning out all wrong, Ma. Look what they done to my
Oh, she's brilliant. Well, Melanie's coming on the
She's
show.
got a new single coming out.
Oh.
Called Will Peace Come in Time for Christmas?
Beautiful. Melanie is going to come on the show, dear listener. How's about them apples, Pablo?
All sounds very good and fruity.
It does sound good and fruity, doesn't it? And because of that, we haven't got to... What was the point you called in for, boss?
Oh, just impending fatherhood number 2. Got a child on the way soon, impending.
Oh.
Congratulations.
You sound a bit down about it.
No, I'm just tired.
You think you're tired now?
You're tired now.
I've had a pregnant woman sleeping on me most evenings.
Oh.
Well, you got it that way.
Well, that's the woman I have to get in to relieve the stress of the other pregnant woman.
Hey! Hey! Pablo's doing jokes about pregnant ladies!
Anyway, I've got to go find out where the roadie for Brian May lives, so I can find out where his guitar is.
You'll never find out. It's one of them secrets. Thank you, Pablo. It's one of them secrets. I love that Carolina on my mind. The James Taylor song done by Melanie. Oh, it's great.
I haven't heard any of her
Once
stuff.
you get past I mean, what have they done to my song? It is actually a joyous kind of Hey Jude type sing along at the end. I'm thoroughly thrilled. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. For those about to talk, we salute you. Talk Radio.
Another hour to go. Wowzers. You can call in about anything you want, otherwise me and Kath will just sit here chatting. Now's an excellent time to call because we've got nobody else lined up. So if you're thinking about it, why don't you do it now? We'll call you back. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. I just feel the moonshine, and ain't it just like a friend of mine to come and hit me from behind? And I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Karen, she's a silver sun. You better walk her away. Watch her shine, watch her watch the morning come. Silver tears appearing, now I'm crying, ain't I? Gone to Carolina in my mind. You know there ain't no doubt in no one's mind. Love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. And hey, babe, the sky's on fire. I'm dying, ain't I? Gonna Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gonna Carolina. just like a friend of mine. Come hit me from behind. We're going to Carolina in my mind. Well, it was dark and silent late last night. I think I might have heard the highway call. Geese in flight and dogs that bite. And signs that might be omens say I'm going, gonna Carolina, hit my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Oh, can't you see the sun shining? Can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't it just like a friend of mine? Come with me from behind. I'm gonna Carolina in my mind. Oh, I can feel the sunshine. I just about feel the moonshine. And I just know the friend of mine comes and hits me from behind. I'm gonna Carolina in my
Come on, isn't that just delightful? Yeah. And I know some people they find the voice a little bit grating, but I've got a live Melanie album on vinyl, which I must need to track down on CD, and it's just this whimsical innocence about her, proper hippie child, but just wonderful.
Judging by her new singles title, the hippie is still there.
Good. Was it Christmas? Peace on Earth.
Peace
Christmas.
in time for Christmas.
Good for her. Well done. I'm glad someone's still got their freak flag flying. Brilliant. Well, we'll sort that out and we'll get Melanie on the show soon. Even better than that, it's the oldest swinger in town. It's Dennis.
Good morning, Ian.
Well, it's good evening because we've not been to sleep yet.
Sorry, no, it's good morning.
No, we've not had a sleep yet.
Yeah, but it's still good morning. It's 6 minutes past 12.
No, it doesn't matter. It's night time. Good evening.
I hope this young lady comes over fairly quick because the world is falling apart.
Oh, what's happened, Dennis?
Well, they got these two idiots in America knocking 7 bells out. They ruin America.
Yes.
We've got our own bloke who's going to ruin the country, just been voted in.
Yes.
You've got the Turks are knocking 7 bells out of each other.
Yes.
The
Russians?
Greeks come bonkers. They've got no money.
Yeah.
Italy's following them.
Oh.
The Germans are now getting Nazis rising, and in the far left...
That's my star sign, Nazis rising, unfortunately.
And then saying France, there's a far left coming up.
What?
So honestly,
I don't think France
not
is
going to be worth
left,
living.
Is it? Well...
We've been run by idiots. The world's been
Dennis,
run by absolute idiots.
With respect, sir, it's your generation that messed it up.
No, it's not.
Then you're going to be checking out soon, leaving us to clean up the mess.
No, listen to me, young man.
Yes, sir.
When I first learned to vote at 21, I voted twice for Labour and swore I would never vote for them again.
You're not allowed to vote twice, Dennis. That's where you've gone wrong. You're only allowed to vote once.
No, the first two elections I voted for the left.
Pick the elder.
I would never vote for them again, and I haven't done. I've never missed a vote.
Oh.
Even when I was away in the Navy, I had a postal vote.
Yes.
So because you see people say, oh, the country's going to go into the dogs, but they've never even bloody well voted for it in the first place.
Well, not voting is a valid...
yes, I know, but then they've got no right to start kicking 7 bells out of the government.
Yes, they do.
No.
Yes.
If they've done nothing about it, they don't deserve to be listened to.
Well, but some people, of course they deserve to be listened to, just because they choose not to vote. They think the system is bent, and the system is bent, isn't it?
Well, the only way to get unbent is to vote for it and get somebody in there to change it.
No, it's not. All that does is get in someone who's bending in a slightly different direction.
Oh, get away with it. Anyway, if we didn't need politicians, the world would be a beautiful place.
Well,
because all politicians are liars.
Spain. Who's what's going on in the background?
His chair, is it, or is it your bum?
Well, it sounds like
Spain is going.
Spain hasn't had a government for 3 months, 6 months, something like that.
Probably more towards 6.
Spain hasn't had a government for 6 months. They've had 2 general elections. I was listening to this on the radio, so it's fascinating. They've had 2 general elections, and it's kind of like no one's been able to form a government. So they're probably going to have a 3rd general election. They're hoping that the minority parties that have got in the way of the 2 main parties, that they'll kind of take a back seat. But no one's prepared to budge an inch. So it looks like after the 3rd general election, if they have one, they still won't have a government, and they're doing okay. I mean, they're skinned.
Well, they're not.
But we're keeping them. That's why we're keeping them.
Would they be doing any better if they had a government?
I don't know. As long as we don't have to pay for them, they can do what the hell they like.
Well,
anyway, that's it.
Thanks for cheering us up, Dennis.
Sorted.
Thanks for cheering us up. Yes, what was it? I was on Radio 4. Maybe it was PM. I don't know. Spain hasn't had a government for 6 months.
Yeah, my mate was telling me about that.
It's brilliant.
They can't decide.
No, they can't decide. And there's like a far left and a far right party, and there are 2 kind of other parties that are a little bit more central. Have I got this right? Mm-hmm. But which would normally be like Labour or Conservative, which would normally be in charge. But then this far left and this far right party, they're kind of sucking the votes out of there. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, I think it's been pretty much the same result in both general election. No one's given an inch. No, not one side has said, okay, well, we won't vote far right, we'll go to this Conservative party, or we won't vote far left, we'll go to... Everyone's holding their positions.
People there are so disenchanted, though, and these are people who, within their lifetimes, they remember a dictator, a brutal dictator. So for it to go that way over there just shows you the level of mistrust now for politicians. They've had huge sort of corruption scandals.
Very sexy peoples. The men and the women, both very sexy.
Not all of them.
Oh, no, all of them. I can't think of one Spaniard I wouldn't hump. Male or female.
I've met a couple that
No. They really are sexy peoples.
Well, they still are
They're sexy peoples. We are sexy people. We want to make love in the heat. We make love all morning, then we siesta, and then we have fresh orange juice, and then we make love in more, and we drink wine, and we do the flamenco, the dance of the sex.
In my experience, limited experience, they're better talkers than doers.
Well,
there you go.
Just because you've had a disappointing, I'm going to say it, sex experience. With Spaniards, maybe you've not tried enough. I know you've tried a lot. I know.
I was only there 6 months.
Well, exactly. I've seen the films.
You haven't seen those films?
No. But I've got someone who's got.
They were very brief.
No, I've seen the films. Who's the woman? Who's the Spanish woman?
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Ham On?
I don't think I watched with the Gary Glitter song. Come on, ham on.
No, the thing where they beat each other to death with the hams at the end.
I said, you wanna be in my ham, my ham, my ham. You wanna be in my ham. Oh yeah, I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I'm the leader of the ham. I am. I'm the leader.
Right.
I'm the leader. I put my little man in ham.
I wouldn't.
No, I've not seen that one. I've not seen.
You have. I've given you that one.
Yeah, well, I've not seen. You gave me a box set of them. I've not watched them all.
Sort it out.
I've not seen that one either. I watched 2 of them.
Which one did you watch?
The one
did you
where
watch
the
Tie
woman,
Me Up, Tie Me Down?
The one where the woman urinates and they film that.
That's every single one.
I watched Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and I watched another one. I got a bit bored, to be honest. Huh? 08444991000. Speaking of getting a bit bored, right? So Saturday we went to the Beano thing, and it wore the boys out. It wore the boys out. And then the eldest had a party, and the youngest stayed with me. We went to the Pirate Park, and we played there. And the youngest one is obviously going to have problems with being addicted to computer games, because we're at the park. He's saying, "Can I have a look at Pokemon Go?" I don't know how you have a battle in Pokemon Go.
Oh, don't look at me. I've deleted it.
No, we're level 5 now. We're level 5, so we can officially, when we get to a Poke Gym, we can go and have a battle. But I don't know how I train up my Pokemon, because they've got like 68 hit points or 28. And we went to a Poke Gym, and there's a guy who's got like 3,000. I'm going, guys, we can fight him, but he's going to destroy us. 08444991000.
Although in life, I would suggest probably not.
Well, so that was disappointing. But the kids came back and they went to bed. Have I got the days right? No, I've got the days wrong. No, that was Sunday.
Doesn't
went
matter.
Saturday.
To live it in real life.
Saturday. What did we do Saturday? Oh, we went to the Lookout Centre, and we were at Lookout Centre all day. And we go to this Lookout Centre's like this little natural history science museum near where we live, right? And it's got a really good park, and it's just go in there and do science things. And we go there all the time. It's quite expensive. And it turns out if I'd have bought membership the last 3 years we've been going, I'd have saved an absolute fortune. So we bought membership. Now, got membership.
You know you're never going to go there again now, don't you?
Never going to go there ever again. I can't remember where I put the membership cards. And we came back, and the boys were shattered because we've been there all day. That was the plan. Get them shattered, get them to bed early, beautiful.
Easy life.
And I did that, and the youngest fell asleep, and I said to the eldest, right, I'm going to go downstairs, do some work. I wasn't going to do some work, I was going to watch Ark, the film recommended by... ARQ, recommended by Sarah Sophie. 08444991000, by the way. Cracking film. And then I heard footsteps on the stairs, and I went, I know you're there! Come in here. And you could hear this giggling voice, and it was the eldest. He said, how do you know I was there? I said, Dad, I know everything. I can see everything that goes on in this house. I knew you were there. And it was about 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I thought, my wife was out. I thought, right, we're going to have a special moment. I said, right, tell you what, instead of going up to bed, get a blanket, come and sit with me. Why don't we watch a film? Let's find a film that we can watch together. And he's like, really? I said, yeah, we can. Let's watch a film. And I said, but I'm going to choose a grown-up film, okay? I'm going to choose a grown-up film. Thing. So we watched the Star Trek film, Into Darkness, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. And I'd seen it before, and I quite enjoyed it. And I thought it'd be an interesting introduction, because he was aware of Star Trek. He'd seen a thing, what's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars, so he was aware of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be interesting to see if he digs it, if he's into it. And it turns out that Star Trek's quite slow. It's quite...
it's not as pew.
No, it's not.
Star Wars.
It's not. It's really political. There's loads of politics in it, and there's some wicked battles and stuff, and some wicked space battles, and there's a bit where they're running around, but it's really, really slow.
So he fell asleep? Or?
No, he didn't. He stayed awake for the whole thing. Respect to him. And about 45 minutes into it, when not a lot had happened, and I thought, I've chosen. I'm glad we watched it, and he felt that he was. I'd set it up as we're going to watch a grown-up film.
He felt special.
Yeah, he did feel special. But the experiment was, would the new Star Trek be suitable for my children? The answer to that is not really.
Oh,
not really.
Why? Just because of boringness?
Boringness. I mean, there were a few S-bombs in there. They weren't noticed. That was great. That was good. But just boringness. And I thought, actually, on a second watch, this is a lot slower than I remembered.
That's because it's your second watch, though. You're watching it with a critical eye.
Well, yeah.
I bought Ghostbusters 1 and 2 for £5 in Tesco.
You were ripped off. You can get it for £2.
Oh, well, it was a whim anyway.
Yeah.
But then everyone is reminding me that it's quite sweary.
Yeah. Yep.
So the kids won't be able to watch it for a while.
Yeah, they are quite... Well...
I put the Goonies on once thinking this will be fun. That's sweary.
08444991000. The thing is, I mean, he didn't even notice this. There were S's...
Well, this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, because it's a word they're unfamiliar with, and there are still plenty of those because they're little kids, it just goes over their heads, doesn't it?
Yeah, he didn't get it. And he wasn't the next day he was running around going, S. There was none of that going on.
No.
But it was good. I mean, it went on for ages. At 11:30 we got to bed. And he fell asleep instantly, of course. But it was nice. It was nice just, I was going to watch a film anyway, and it was a nice little punt to see if he enjoyed bits of it. I said to him, do you understand the story? He said, not really. He thought, obviously, Spock was brilliant.
Yeah.
As you would do. Spock is one of the greatest characters of all time. But it was there's some sexy bits in it. But, I mean, just women in her pants, bra and pants.
All right, well, that's...
And him and Kirk Kirk is in bed with two women who've got tails, but...
not fussy, was he?
No, and I went, and I just got away from the sexual nature of that by saying, "Look, got tails," and he went, "Yeah, whoa." And so it was a nice evening all in all. But Star Trek turns out is a little bit dull compared to Star Wars.
So what next?
I'll have a think about it.
Yeah.
08444991000.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. We call you back. Always goes a little bit quiet on the last hour, so that's groovy if you don't fancy it. The debate hasn't started yet.
Which one?
The Trump-Clinton one. What time is it on? I think it's on about... It's either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock our time. I don't know.
Starts at 1:30am.
Okay. Sally from Boston says, Iain, thanks. Not listened to Melanie for years. You've reminded me how much I love her music. I got a hard choice now. Do I listen to you or to her? Come on, Sally. You know the answer to that. You listen to this. You can't bail out.
She'll keep.
Halfway through a show. I am fascinated by this Ben Needham story.
Yeah. What an awful, awful time that poor mother's had.
Wouldn't it be incredible? I'm choosing my words carefully. Wouldn't it be incredible if they found him now? And what's interesting is because there have been so many. 25 years ago, this was. I thought it was longer ago than that, but 25 years ago, there have been so many times when hopes have been raised, haven't they? When police have gone off to different parts of the world because they're following a lead, or something's been spotted, or something like that. I haven't been following this story that closely for the last 25 years, right? And I wonder if anybody has, if this time, it's different than the other leads that we've had, the other moments of excitement.
Well, in the past, it's been because they found blonde Greek boys, hasn't it? And people thinking they might be him, or people claiming to be him.
The witness who claimed Ben Needham may have been crushed by a digger told detectives it's time the family knew the truth so they can stop searching. But as police start digging for the missing toddler's remains on Cos today, Mum Kerry, 43, gosh, same age as me, told of her anger that it took the mystery man 25 years to break his silence. But I mean, is it? Is it a fantasy? We don't know. They're going to go and dig it up. Is it a fantasist? Is it? It's because the guy that is accused of it is dead. Died last year, didn't he? And here's the thing. And this is no way an attempt to demean what the mother is feeling. She's obviously I don't know if the dad is around. I don't know the situation of the family, but her and Ben are obviously and the close family are the most important things in this. That goes, that's accepted. But if this guy, this Dino Barkas, did do it, don't you wonder how he must have felt?
Yeah.
For the last 24 years of his life,
knowing that he'd done it, and
if he has done it, yeah.
And
if he'd have just had, I don't know, the courage to come forward and say, this is what happened.
I guess it gets to a point where you can't anymore.
Yeah, of course. Oh, of course. And I've been caught up in lies where, you're in a lie, so you might as well stick with it. You wonder how much peace this gentleman had in his life, whether he was able to, after a period of time, forget about it. Can you forget about that if you've accidentally killed a kiddie?
I don't think you forget about it. Maybe you get used to carrying it.
And you wonder how much freedom it would have brought him if he'd have been able to say at some point in that last 24 years of his life, this is what happened.
Yeah. Or maybe he looked at the parents and the fact that they were still searching and thought, well, they've still got hope at least. I don't know. I'm sure he justified it. If this is true and if this is what's happened.
But and here we go. I mean, this is again. You wonder how much are we putting too much credence in this? The mystery man who responded to a TV appeal in May sparked a dramatic twist in the case by claiming his friend Konstantinos Barkas, Dino Barkas, may have been responsible for Ben's death. He said the businessman had been driving a digger. Now, if this is all he said, there must be more to it than this, but he said the businessman had been driving a digger 100 yards from the spot where Ben, aged 21 months, was last seen in July 1991. According to the witness, Dino was, quotes, shaking, sweating and red-faced, close quotes, the day after the British youngster was reported missing. Well, I mean, it's cause, it's a hot... You're going to be shaking and red-faced. If that's all he's got...
But isn't there also some sort of detail about him having taken the digger and never used it again or something? Or am I making that up?
You could have given... Police have met the unnamed witness several times. He told them of 2 potential sites where Ben's body could have been buried. One is an area close to the farmhouse where the top was playing. The second is a spot where Dino used to fly tip building rubble. The police have said it was 4 months of investigating and exploring the new information. Blimey. Well,
poor mum, though.
Yeah, she says in there it's the first time that she's considered he might be dead. I mean, but I just wonder how. When we'll find out, in a couple of weeks' time. It's about 2 weeks to dig it up. But there have been front page stories before about the truth, the clues to Ben's disappearance. And I just wonder if this is different from those other situations, or if it is the newspapers knowing, oh, that's a good story.
Do you know what's kind of reassuring? That the police are still bothered after all this time. That they're following up on it rather than just going, oh.
Yeah.
Because you hear about, especially when it's happening in some foreign parts. You hear about the police not being that bothered after a certain length of time.
I think it's sad about Zoe Ball and Fatboy Slim. What's his name? I don't know what his
Norman
name is.
Cook.
I think it's sad. I don't know Zoe very well, but I worked with her years and years ago. She used to work in the offie in Farnham Common, where I grew up. I think she might have sold me my first packet of fags. I think she did, because I remember her working in the offie. And I'd worked with her a couple of times, not in the offie, but on telly, and she was always delightful to me. And one newspaper, which will remain nameless, has said, if you recognise the young man that she's snogging in this picture, give us a call.
What for?
I mean...
is she doing something illegal? It's sad, but it happens all the time, and... leave them alone, they've got a kid.
Leave them alone, innit? They've got 2 kids. Leave them alone, innit? It's just
They've obviously found... The one thing I do find kind of interesting from the story, because I try not to read that sort of stuff, I just don't think it's... it's helpful.
None of my business.
But... it seems like they have reached some sort of agreement whereby they're going to bring the kids up together and they're living next door but one. It can't be... I'm sure there's a lot of heart goes on behind it, and it's never as easy as it looks from the outside, but I hope they can do something. They can stay kind of nice to each other for the sake of the kids. It's none of our business.
It's none of our business.
But what it is we're all imagining ourselves in that position. The ones that aren't judging.
But whatever the reason for the split, one thing is for sure: the couple who once epitomised Cool Britannia, this time the party really is over.
Did they, and is it? Oh my God!
It's just.
I would say the couple that epitomised Cool Britannia was Noel and Meg. Noel and Meg Matthews.
Oh, I used to like Meg Matthews.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to like Meg Matthews. She was good. I've got that page wrong. I'll have a look at that in a minute. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'll tell you what, for the last 30 minutes of the show, we'll take calls straight to air. So we won't call you back. I suspect everyone's gone to bed. It's 12:30 on a Monday.
School night as well, isn't it?
It's a school night. Imagine if there are any kids listening to us. Because I used to listen to the radio when I was about 13, 14, 15. I remember I found... this is the thing with DAB, right? This is the problem with DAB and listening online and stuff, is you don't get the magic of going to medium wave or shortwave. Remember shortwave? And just slowly going through the thing, trying to find... I remember in my bedroom in Farnham Common finding this Christian radio station in which I only recently... They called it Niagara Falls. That's Niagara Falls, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
They don't call it Niagara.
They called it, they did. And I know, it's only recently I went, okay, that'd be Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls. And I wrote to them and they sent me, it became like a cult thing at my school for a month. And we listened to this station, this Christian radio station in Niagara Falls. And we all wrote to them when we got those little cross
Pin badges.
Little cross badges, yeah. That it was a bit of a joke. We weren't religious. We were just doing it for a bit of a joke. But we found this thing, this secret thing, this strange thing you could hardly hear, and we found it funny because it was an American thing, evangelist kind of thing. And we found it, and it was our little thing, and you don't get that now.
Because I used to listen as well. I used to listen to Talk Sport or Talk Radio when it was James Whale and Ash, and it's weird that I'm now working with Ash. James Whale and Ash and Tommy Boyd and all those guys. And people I ended up working with later on in life. But, sometimes your signal would fail a little bit, so you'd have to give it a little jog, and sometimes you wouldn't find it again that night and you'd find something else. But there's no kind of happy accidents anymore where you stumble across something else, because you'd have to completely retune your DAB.
Oh, completely.
And who does that every night?
Now, people stick to what they're looking for. Who's this on line one?
Hip, 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 it's Julie.
Hip, 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 Julie, you're right.
Yeah, fine. I've just got a quick question.
Yes.
Earlier, Kath, you were saying that you used to run a business when you were just your own business.
A little one,
What did you do?
You're going to laugh. I made sock monkeys.
What?
Sock monkeys.
Sock monkeys?
Sock. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Right, and it was only because
I was wondering what business it was, and I was thinking maybe it's something creative.
Yeah, it was. I had to make something, and I could turn those out really fast. And what it was I made some for I was skint because, I was on maternity leave and I was skint. That's why I had to go back to work so early. And for Christmas, I made these sock monkeys for just my family and one friend actually who's just had a baby, but the baby was in hospital, so she didn't open the present until about 3 months after. And when she did, she put it on Facebook. I got loads of orders from her mates because it was outside the Christmas period, and they saw these things. And I ended up making quite a bit of money out of it.
Declared it all, of course.
Of course I did.
I tried to make a sock monkey once, but I ended up spending too much money on the stuff.
Yeah, you can do.
Well, you made those dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing.
Boys,
I made dinosaurs. We're branched out. Sock monkeys, cats. I made loads. And the thing is, there's loads of really good tutorials on YouTube. And if you have a little, I had loads of time on my hands. Baby slept a lot. And I had a sewing machine. I was turning those things out like nobody's business. But the joy got taken out of it as soon as I started selling to people I didn't know, because they were treating me like I was a factory. And they're like, oh, have you got it in a different colour?
Which effectively you were.
Well, to them, yeah. But I was just, a bored mum. But I did need, and I've always needed to be able to turn something out,
Yeah.
I can't just sit there. I can't sit there and do nothing. So yeah, that's what happened.
Well done. I'm very impressed.
I've closed down Socks on Legs now, though.
Socks on Legs.
That's what it was called, Socks on Legs.
Oh dear me.
Fantastic.
Hey, but your boys liked them.
Oh, they were brilliant. Yeah, they still got them. Yeah, they were very long lasting.
Giraffes as well. I made all sorts. Anyway.
Thank you, Julie. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. So
I have to crank it back up.
There's a story about how being overweight might be connected to being mentally ill. Might be the symptom of mental illness,
right.
the food addiction and eating to self-medicate and stuff, right? So the headline in the Daily Star is
The Sensitive, is it?
Lardies need to see shrink.
Wow.
Oh, no!
And then, my friends, is the part of the problem.
Oh.
Wow.
Fat people should be offered therapy to stop their food binges, an expert claims. I don't think that's a particularly revolutionary suggestion. Dr. Matt Capehorn said Bridget Jones-style comfort eating is a reason why 2/3 of adults are overweight. He also urged GPs to ask obese patients if they want to see slimming gurus. The expert claims a £240 million anti-obesity service would be more value for money than TV campaigns. He said the psychological aspect is as important or even more important than the weight loss aspect. If you have a bad day at work, you eat something to make you feel better. I do that. That's one of the things that I do, and it's a known phenomenon. It's a form of self-abuse, and people think there are similarities, self-harm. People think there are similarities in the way that people take drugs, or that they drink alcohol, they cut themselves, they feed themselves as a form of punishment and reward, and it's all that kind of nonsense.
Kind of the same reason why people don't eat, isn't it? Some people don't.
Yeah.
It's that thing, it's control.
Yeah, it is, and I do it when I having particularly low self-esteem. I'll go and buy a load of old crap, and I will shove. And this is on a much smaller scale compared to other people who will do it to the point where they throw up or whatever it may be. But I'll go and buy a bag full of crap and eat it because I hate myself, man. That's what that is. But lardies need to see shrink. Lardies. That's clever because shrink works on two levels. The psychological slang term for a psychiatrist, and also they need to shrink because they're fat. So that's sensitively.
Well done, guys. Is that sorted?
Yeah. It's all Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Yes. You cannot be serious.
I've also noticed that they're following Jennifer Aniston around, trying to capture a look on her face that's supposed to mean something after all this time.
Angelina Jolie's plans to take her children to Syria caused her rift with Brad Pitt. I bet it wasn't. I bet there's a little bit more going on than just that. Although if my wife wanted to take the kids to Syria,
probably have something to say about it.
He is said to have...
So, hang on a minute. Is he the responsible parent or the irresponsible parent today? Because yesterday he was the irresponsible
Well, it's
parent.
interesting, isn't it? In the two celebrity splits, Zoe Ball is the bad one and Brad Pitt is the bad one. Wouldn't it be nice if Brad and Zoe got together and Angelina and Norman got together? That would be nice, actually, wouldn't it? That genuinely would be nice.
Well, apparently Angelina is being comforted by Johnny Depp.
Brad Pitt is said to have become increasingly upset at the controversial plans. An insider told US website, I'm going to say it, TMZ, Things got extremely tense when Brad and Angie argued over taking the kids to Syria to help rebuild the war-torn country.
The kids are going to do it, are they?
Well, there's enough of them. That's a joke. That's a joke. You can have that one. There. Brad was always supportive of Jolie's solo charity work, but travels with the kids became a bone of contention for several years. Yesterday, removal vans were seen outside.
Oh, sad.
Sad, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? But it's not sad because they've got a load of money and they're famous, so we can point and laugh and stare and rub our hands with glee.
And we were a bit jealous of them.
It's none of our business. And I'm not, I was going to say I'm not massive fans of them. I've enjoyed Brad Pitt films. I've met Angelina Jolie. She was absolutely delightful to me for the 10 minutes that we chatted. But I wouldn't even be that interested if I was big fans of them. This is nothing to do with us whatsoever. I hope it's all right and the kids are all right.
Yeah, it's horrible no matter who you are, surely.
0844 499 1000. Last 20 minutes of the show. We'll take calls straight to air if you want to call in. If you don't, that's groovy, man. We'll just sit here and chat. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. Last 20 minutes of the show. We're going to end on a Melanie. Oh, no.
Change your mind?
Well, yeah, I have just changed my mind. I wonder if I've got... because I might end on a Ruttles. Have I got the Ruttles on this computer? I don't think I have. Hang on a minute. No, I've got the... Oh, yes, I have. Maybe we'll end on a Ruttles song. Do you want early period Ruttles or late period Ruttles? Do you want
late?
You want late? All right.
Let's go late.
God, they're all so good from the first album, not the second album, of course. Do you want that "I Am the Walrus" pastiche?
Yeah.
It's called "Piggy in the Middle." We'll do that. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, piggy in the middle, do a poo poo. It's brilliant, but it's much better than I just made it sound. We're going to end on that.
I don't see how it could be.
So that's going to be about 54 minutes. All right, fine. We're going to end on that. Let me just. This is how it starts off. Hang on a second. We're going to end.
Didn't they get into trouble for that one?
No, the one they got in trouble for was. Let me find. It's on YouTube because they didn't put it on the album in the end. John Lennon said, "Look, this is all brilliant, but if you put that one out, I'm gonna." It's this. This is brilliant. Get up and go. Look, listen to this. Watch this bit. I mean, this is just. I won't play all of it.
2, 3, 4.
Working up a fever in a one-horse town was a jockey by the name of Joe. He didn't have a lot of what you might call luck, but he had a lot of get up and go. Get up and go, get up and go, get up and go back home.
John Lennon said, "Yeah, listen, if you put that out, I'm gonna have to sue you." There's no way around it. Looking at that, I'd forgotten how beautiful the Ruttles film is. It would have been so easy. You look at that shot there. It would have been so easy to do a knockoff job, and it looked really cheap and tacky. But they
spent some money on that.
They've spent money on it. It was American money. It was a Saturday Night Live thing, and that's the only thing that ruins it is when they have John Belushi, and another American in it from Saturday Night Live. Aykroyd might be in it. But they just spent money and they did it absolutely properly, and they got all this original footage and just recreated it. And I think we will ask. The reason we're playing this is because Neil Innes may be coming on the show this week. He may be coming on it at a later date. We'll see. I think they recorded some of the songs on like the original equipment as well to get that analog
to get the right
thing.
Sound.
And it was also, when was this? 1977, I guess. So it wasn't that long after the Beatles had split up. George Harrison's in the film as well as a reporter, and I think Eric Idle and Neil Innes are in it as the Beatles at that point, and Eric Idle's interviewing them, and George Harrison's interviewing them, and a Beatles fan came up and ignored George Harrison and said, "Oh God, you're the Beatles," and got their autographs and stuff. And George Harrison was stood right next to them.
Oh, good old George.
It's a good film, man. What was the line? I can't remember where it was quoted to me the other day, but I quoted it to Hunter Davis. The Ruttles' first album was recorded in 20 minutes. The next one took even longer. I think it's such a delicious line. But we won't end on that one. We'll end on their take of I Am the Walrus, called Piggy in the Middle, which is just an absolute joy. Absolute joy. Now, here's something. 0844 499 1000. I have no idea who Daisy Lowe is, but I know I've seen a lot of her bum and her boobs recently.
Right. Daisy Lowe is Pearl Lowe's daughter. She was a 90s kind of...
Pearl's a singer?
No, she was kind of an it girl. And she had her with the guy who's just got divorced from Gwen Stefani.
Oh, I annoyed him once.
She was his secret love child for a while.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When were they having sex? Could you tell me, please?
Well, it'd been 90s.
The guy from Bush. He was from Bush, wasn't he?
Gavin,
Hansen,
Stefani.
Henderson. When in the 90s?
Like, proper 90s.
Okay, because I interviewed
when he shouldn't
him.
Have been.
I interviewed him in 1999, and he got a right cob on
Did
with
he?
me.
Why?
Yes, he did.
Did you say something about
Well,
Pearl?
because the joke was that Bush were massive in the States, but they were nothing over here. But they came from Shepherd's Bush. That's why they had the name Bush, because they were all from Shepherd's Bush. And I asked him, I said, he came on the 11 o'clock show, and I said something like, it got really tense. I said something like, what's it, I don't know, it was a jokier version of what's it like being famous in the States when no one over here knows who you are? The fact that he was appearing on the 11 o'clock show to promote his concerts shows that, we weren't exactly top draw for guests.
Mm-hmm.
And he got really arsey.
Well, you hit him where it hurt, man.
He got really arsey. Well, we got a lot of fans over here. We just sold out the Shepherd's Bush Empire. I could probably sell out Shepherd's Bush Empire if I pushed it. Do you know what I mean? And he was having it away with this young lady's mum.
Mm.
None of my business.
Fair enough.
So who is she?
She's kind of a model.
Okay,
but a curvy one. That's that's a USP that she's got. Boobs.
She likes showing off her bum.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. She's on obviously Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah,
it's been fixed.
Well, so they say.
Is she any good at the Strictly Dancing?
I didn't see her. I saw Judge Rinder because I watched it with the kids.
Judge Grinder.
George Grinder.
George Grinder.
Do you know what? He did a lovely job.
Yeah.
He did a lovely job.
I bet he did.
He's got some moves, and also he did the dancing face.
Well, very.
Yeah,
very theatrical.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Very theatrical.
But very
camp.
though. Oh, yeah.
So that whole thing.
And his shirt was slashed to the waist.
Yeah.
And he was
I bet it wasn't when he started, but he told them he wanted it.
Well, he started out.
Breakaway.
He started out up on the podium as if he was in court.
Oh,
he had the full thing on.
All rise.
And then he jumped down.
Yeah.
Sashayed. Turn, whipped off the robe, he's slashed to the waist. Then his hips are going 10 to a dozen. Honestly, it was quite a sight to be seen. Apparently, his dance on the YouTube, or whatever it is, has been the most viewed thing that Strictly's ever put out. And they've had some people being dragged around by their ankles.
Daisy Lowe's been... Surely she must have, some of her stuff on YouTube must have been viewed a lot.
Not the official Strictly's.
OK, well, that's a shame.
Yet.
You just forced Strictly down my throat there. Who hosts Strictly these days?
Claudia Winkleman and Tess Daly.
Who's the man?
There isn't a man.
No, but who's the man out of those two?
Well, Tess is taller.
Right. Who drives it, is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, Tess gets to stay downstairs while Claudia gets sent upstairs to do the kind of after performance
so
thing.
Tess is Bruce.
Yeah.
And Claudia...
Let's go and turn to the judges.
And Claudia is Tess.
Yeah.
Oh, why can't they be people in their own right? Because I'm an old-fashioned misogynist. That's why.
Why can't you just let Tess do it on a Todd? What was wrong with that?
Well, she couldn't be downstairs and upstairs at the same time. She'll have to
throw
someone.
Upstairs.
Oh, the upstairs bit is the bit... I like it when Brendan Cole's pulling faces in the background.
Nah, that's just filler while they change the sets or get the music sorted out on the stands and all that.
Here is a story that is perhaps...
But I do like Claudia Winkleman.
I think she's absolutely brilliant.
I prefer her out of the two, if I'm going to be
honest. I recorded a video for Vernon and Tess's wedding day.
Oh.
To be played. I don't know if it was played in the end.
What video was it?
I wasn't invited. Just with me, and they just wanted celebs to record videos, and I was kind of...
That's nice.
I was a bit player in the late 90s, early 2000s. Some of you guys may remember me. No? Okay. Why sex helps men feel a little closer to heaven. Now, I can tell you already, this story is bullshine. Absolute bullshine. It's fair to say that when it comes to a night of passion, the existence of a higher power isn't normally on the agenda. Well, I always pray before I have intercourse, just to make sure everything works and no one, gets damaged. Things can go wrong, can't they?
Don't know.
But it seems that sexual relations actually bring men closer to God. It's not just during sex men go, oh, God, oh, Jesus, oh, God, yes. That's what that is, isn't it?
Oh, God, I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Never happens.
You're not going to tell my wife, are you? It's that kind of stuff. So, is that what... We read on. Thanks to the production of a hormone that enhances feelings of spirituality. Now, oxytocin. Oh, isn't oxytocin for spots?
No, that's Oxy-10.
Okay.
Oxytocin is what you emit when you have something that's pleasurable. But also, I'm sure there was something about having a baby in that.
Not in the bit I've just read there.
No, like when you're having a baby. Oxytocin's what they give you to sort of loosen you up.
Here we go. Sometimes dubbed the cuddle chemical, is stimulated during sex, childbirth and breastfeeding. Here's the thing we never mentioned, that some women achieve an orgasm during childbirth. I read it in a newspaper a few years ago.
Well, put it this way. If you get an orgasm through having, basically it felt like having your genitals kicked in with a very sharp boot. If that's what does it for you, have loads of kids.
Okay.
By the way, if you're pregnant and listening to this, I'm sure yours will be fine and it won't hurt at all. You're like a wet seal.
Now researchers believe it could also create feelings of religious devotion in men. A US study found that men given doses of oxytocin were more likely to say spirituality was important in their lives than those who'd received a placebo CD. No CD, sorry. This was the case regardless...
How do you have a placebo sex?
No, but they're giving you oxytocin. You're not having sex.
Well, how do they... Where have they made the connection?
It's sex, but not in a loving relationship, was the placebo.
Oh, right.
Huh? This, I'm literally just filling for the next 60 seconds till I can play the Ruttles. This was the case regardless of whether the participant had reported belonging to a religion or not. Men given oxytocin were also more likely to say their lives had meaning and purpose. Oh, I need some of this stuff then. I need to execute those spots.
Don't pick 'em.
Research assistant Professor Dr. Patty Van Kapellen from Duke University in North Carolina said... Oh, hang on a second. Yes, line one.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. You've got 30 seconds.
Oh, well, in that case, it's Bruce. Hello, goodbye.
Thanks very much indeed. There you go, you see.
He chose his moment, didn't he?
He really did. And now...
You're about to get there with that story.
I can't be bothered. It's gone. I can't be bothered to start again. Anyway, hopefully, at some point in the near future, Mr. Neil Innes, the writer and recordist of this song, will be coming on. Oh. I'll play. There.
Talk about a month of Sundays. Toffee knows when me can despise I can see. Hey, little, the cat's in the middle. Piggy in the middle. Do a blue Bible punching heavyweight. Evangelistic boxing kangaroo. Orangutan and a conda. One man civilization is another man's jungle, yeah. They say revolution's in the air. I'm shouting in my underwear, 'cause I don't care. Hey, little, the cat's on the fiddle. Piggy in the middle. Walkie-talkie man says hello, hello, hello. With his ballerina boots, you can tell he's always on his toes. Hanging from a Christmas tree, creepy like a bogeyman, getting up my nose. Hey, little, the cat's in the middle. Piggy in the middle. Do a boo, boo, boo.
Talk Radio.
We got entertainment, and we're not afraid to use it. Talk Radio.